presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are LA.
It's time for Angels Spring Training Baseball. The Angels are back in Tempe as the rivalry continues today. It's the Angels and the Texas Rangers. Angel fans have been flocking to the Valley this spring. The Angels have already sold out 7 of their 10 Cactus League home games. Today, no exception as the Angels get ready to take on the Texas Rangers. Terry Smith along with Jose Mota. And Jose, a lot of homegrown players getting a chance to experience this rivalry. One of them is Peter Bourjos.
Terry, and for those homegrown players, and not just important for them to experience success in the big leagues, play meaningful series, but yes, as you mentioned, play meaningful rivalries. And Peter Bourjos was right in the middle of things last year. Of course, he plays in center field, so he knows what it is like nowadays to play and defend the Texas Rangers. But with the bat, he was more than a plus for the Angels at the top of the lineup, but mostly at the bottom of the lineup. Here in spring training, he continues to progress forward as he covers a lot of ground. He knows hitters a little bit better. He knows the staff way better, and we know he's a player, Terry, that it's good to see in action because he brings a very energetic package. And last year, no fluke, by the way, the way he ran the bases, the way he bunted, and at a very young age, to see the Texas Rangers in that rivalry, I think is very important.
Well, Peter Bourjos certainly a difference maker, especially with his speed, but when it comes to the Angels, it's not all speed.
And I'm glad that Peter Bourjos doesn't have to worry about hitting the ball out of the ballpark. Terry, there's enough of those candidates in this ballpark and this lineup here today. Albert Pujols, for my social, provides a middle of the lineup threat immediately. Signed as a free agent. Mark Trumbo, homegrown talent, 29 home runs last year, and he has picked up exactly where he left off last year in the regular season. Now you add a guy like Vernon Wells, who's going to be way more comfortable, or should be more comfortable, less pressure on him. Kendrys Morales, what a welcome sight to see him swinging the bat, both sides of the plate, getting his reps. He has done very well so far and passed every test. And Torrey Hunter, I think, the guy that quietly will be surprising a lot of people because he'll get a lot of residual RBI opportunities, and we know occasionally he can crush a mistake for you. So for all these guys, it's no new experience for them to hit home runs. You see the amount they've hit in their careers in a single season. So Terry, hopefully they can all do something close to those numbers.
Well, you know, Jose, we thought we might have a marquee pitching matchup today. Yu Darvish against C.J. Wilson. They're each going to pitch, but they're not going to pitch here today at Tempe Diablo Stadium.
The beauty of a controlled environment here in spring training. Well, sometimes you don't want to tip your hand to the opponent, especially somebody or a team you're going to see 18 or 19 times. But in spring training, you have the luxury of throwing those guys in minor league games. That's the case with Darvish for the Rangers, and that's the case with C.J. Wilson for the Angels. So in this type of situation, you control how many times a pitcher gets up and gets down, how many times he faces a certain part of the order, and certainly it's a luxury to have here in camp.
Well, Trevor Bell is going to go for the Angels. He's still bidding for a spot on the opening day roster. Mark Hamburger, interesting story. He got into pro ball on a tryout at the Metrodome in Minneapolis. He will oppose the Angels starter Trevor Bell today.
Well, Trevor Bell knows he's fighting for a couple of things. Number one is to get a long and extended look for that number 5 spot in the rotation. But also, Trevor Bell has been very successful for the Angels out of the bullpen. He's got a bulldog mentality, and he wants to seize this opportunity. He is going to go after hitters, expect him to throw inside a little bit more, knowing that at any given time he could be called upon during the regular season, not just to start, but also to relieve.
Well, we talked about the rivalry, and it does continue today. Albert Pujols will have a chance to experience it for the first time, at least in a Cactus League game.
Right. Remember, Albert Pujols knows the Rangers very well from the World Series. What a better scenario than that. But for him to see the Rangers many times in meaningful games in the regular season will be special. And also just to see the crowd and how they react here today, Terry, will be something he'll remember for a long time.
Kendrys Morales, who played yesterday against Texas, gets the day off. He'll be back in the Angel lineup tomorrow. When we get back here in Tempe, the rivalry continues. The Angels and the Texas Rangers will have the starting lineups and the start of today's game. It's coming up next right here on Fox Sports West.
welcome back to Tempe Diablo Stadium. Great to have you with us here on the Angels Baseball Network and on Fox Sports West. Jose Mota alongside Terry Smith as the umpires make their way towards the home plate area and to their respective bases. Here's a lineup for the visiting Texas Rangers, managed by Ron Washington. Julio Bourjos is leading off in center field. Craig Gentry, speedster, struggling with the bat, but he's playing in right field, batting second today. Batting third is always dangerous David Murphy, playing left field. Batting fourth is former Angel Mike Napoli. He is a catcher, batting fourth. Napoli's been limited to only 19 at-bats so far here this spring training. Batting fifth is Mitch Moreland, left-handed hitting first baseman. Brandon Snyder is the third baseman for the Rangers, batting sixth. Brad Hopp, who homered yesterday against the Halos, is the designated hitter, batting seventh. Alberto Gonzalez makes a start at shortstop in place of Elvis Andrews. And Luis Hernandez will bat ninth at second base. He's playing, of course, in place of Ian Kinsler. So that's a lineup for Ron Washington as Mike Scioscia sits out his group out there. Eric Ibar, shortstop for the Angels, leading off, having a great spring, hitting .419. Howie Kendrick hitting .486, is batting second at second base. Albert Pujols back on the lineup. He's got 3 home runs and 10 RBIs so far at first base, batting third. Torrey Hunter is in right field, batting fourth. Vernon Wells already with 11 RBIs this spring is in left field, batting fifth. Bobby Abreu trying to find rhythm at the plate, designated hitter, batting sixth. Batting seventh, Mark Trumbull at third base. Trumbull saw some action yesterday in right field. He is batting seventh at third. Bobby Wilson behind the plate is batting eighth. And for the Angels, batting ninth in center field is speedster Peter Bourjos.
Umpires today calling balls and strikes will be Scott Barry. On the bases, Gary Darling, Bill Miller, and Rob Drake. We are moments away from the start of today's game. Trevor Bell has wrapped up his warm-up tosses. He will face Julio Bourjos, left-handed batter. Trumbo at third is in on the grass. The first pitch today a little bit low. We're underway. The count 1 ball, no strikes. 79 degrees, but a little bit more humid today here in Tempe. The pitch, and that is in there for a called strike. The count 1-1. Trevor Bell has appeared in 3 games before today in the Cactus League. An 0-1 record, ERA 6.75. Next pitch, good breaking ball. That's cut on and missed. And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes on Bourjos. Bourjos was in the lineup yesterday for the Rangers. He was their starting center fielder, and that's the case again today. He was 0 for 4. He played the whole game yesterday. Next pitch, it's fouled off on the left side, backing out of play.
Good pitch by Trevor Bell, elevating that fastball, having Bourjos chasing it. Very quickly changing the eye level of the batter.
So Bell is ready. The 2-2 on Bourjos. That one misses low. It's a full count. With Mike Scioscia on record as saying he plans to carry just 11 pitchers on the opening day roster, Trevor Bell is in kind of a dicey situation as far as making the Angels opening day roster.
Yeah, the thing he's got going for him is his versatility. Today we see him as a starter, but we know he can also come out of the bullpen at any given moment.
Next pitch. And that one didn't miss by much. So the count full on Bourjos with Gentry waiting on deck.
But you're right, Terry. There's other guys throwing the ball very well, competing for a spot in that bullpen.
Here's the 3-2. It's slapped on the right side. An easy hop for Howie Kendrick. He'll throw out the speedy Bourjos, and that's the game's first out. Craig Gentry will bat. Gentry's had kind of a tough spring, just 3 for 23. He hit .271 last year with Texas. Also played in AAA last year, hit over 300 in AAA.
It's amazing how spring training presents, also the beginning of the regular season. You see the extremes of Howie Kendrick hitting .486 and Gentry hitting .130. But you know what? In all of that, it's a difference of 3 or 4 base hits. That's it.
Yep.
Just to get it to a decent, respectable average.
1 ball, no strikes to count on Gentry. Bell's next pitch, and that's a late swing. It's fouled back to the screen. The count 1-1. The Angels wearing the red tops, white pants. The Rangers have the blue tops, the gray pants. Dimensions here at Tempe Diablo Stadium: 340 to left, 367 to right, 420 to dead center. Power alleys go 400. Next pitch, right in there for a called strike. 1-2.
Attack mode all the way. That's what he needs right now.
The 2-strike delivery on Gentry. He takes one down the heart of the plate. Struck him out looking. 2 are gone.
That fastball right there reminded me a little bit of that four-seamer that Irvin Santana throws. It. Bobby Wilson himself says sometimes it'll cut like he means to have it as a cutter. Nice job there by Wilson framing and, of course, by Bell delivering.
David Murphy will step to the plate. We didn't see him in yesterday's game. He's playing left field for them, a left-handed batter. The pitch, a strike on the outside corner, and Bell is pumping in strikes here in this first inning. Here's the next one on Murphy, a little bit outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Trevor Bell in his career with the Angels, he's had multiple stops, 4-8 record, a 5.21 ERA, 11 starts in the big leagues in his career.
There's one that's fouled back to the screen, and it's 1-2.
He's made 41 relief appearances against Texas in the regular season. 0-3, 6.61 ERA.
The next pitch, and that's cut on and missed. A high fastball, threw it by him, struck him out, and that will end the inning. So Bell has a strong first inning. He throws a total of 15 pitches and has a clean top of the first. We're going to the bottom of the first inning. There's no score in Tempe on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Bottom of the first inning we go. This copyrighted broadcast presented by the Authority of Angels Baseball may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the expressed written consent of Angels Baseball. Mark Hamburger on the hill for Texas, and his first pitch today, that's a strike on the outside corner. Hamburger was with the Rangers a little bit last year, appeared in 5 games, spent a lot of time in AA and AAA last season. And this is his 5th appearance for Texas this spring. First start. Next pitch, that's cut on and missed, and Ibar in the hole. It's 0-2. Hamburger, an outside shot to make the Rangers opening day roster. In all likelihood, he'll begin the year in AAA. He's in front 0-2 on Ibar. Eric's hitting over 400 in the Cactus League, and he slaps that one on the right side. Easy bounce for the second baseman Hernandez. He will throw him out, and there's one gone in the Angels first.
Yeah, for Mark Hamburger, he may be a long shot, but he already beat the Angels in the regular season. His last appearance On September 26th, he came in relief of C.J. Wilson, Terry, who happened to be on a tune-up outing. He went 3 2/3 against the Angels. Only a couple of hits, 1 earned run. He got 3 strikeouts. He got the win in relief.
And that was his first and, to this point, only major league victory. As Howie Kendrick steps up, he takes ball 1. It's 1 ball, no strikes.
That was a game that C.J. Wilson only went 2 innings, getting ready for his Division Series start.
Next pitch on Howie. He hits a 1-hopper to the second baseman, and Hernandez will throw him out. So Hamburger is known as a ground ball pitcher. Has a couple of ground outs behind him. And now Albert Pujols will bat. Albert back in the lineup. Did not play yesterday when these two teams met in Surprise. He's hitting .333 in the Cactus League. 3 homers out of his 12 hits. He's driven in 10 runs.
Come on, Albert!
Here's the first pitch. He looks it over. It's in there for a called strike.
Very routine oriented. Also, he likes to just take an early look at pitchers, how they're going to work them early in the game, and then adjust as the game progresses.
0-1. He rips one foul on the left side. He turned on that pitch, fouls it off.
And the more I talk to Pujols here in spring, the more I learn about his timing mechanism. And it's all about the hands. If you watch the hands where he precisions them and then he comes to a lock, that means he's ready.
Come on, Albert!
The 0-2, they set up on the outside corner, and he drills a ball into left field. That ball is hit well out there, and it is out of here. A line drive home run for Albert Pujols, and it's 1-0 Angels.
Now you can say he was ready. Once those hands lock up, forget about it. If you make a mistake, middle end, anywhere around the area, he will punish you. This was a screaming liner out of here. Already 4 home runs for Albert.
That ball jumped out in a hurry. You had to wonder if it was going to be high enough, and it was for the home run. Here's Torrey Hunter batting, and he takes a pitch up and in for ball 1. It's 1 ball, no strikes.
Different type of scenario for Pujols. The last time he saw the Rangers, just remember, it was the World Series scenario when he had 3 home runs in a game against the Rangers over in Arlington.
There's ball 2 on Torrey. It's 2 balls, no strikes.
Comes in to a new rivalry here.
Here's the 2-0 on Hunter inside, and now it's 3-0. Torrey's hitting a little over 300 this spring. He is yet to homer. He's had 11 hits. He's driven in 7 runs. 3-0 pitch, had the green light, lines it right at the third baseman, and that will end the inning. That ball was hit hard, but right at the third baseman, and that will do it for the Angels. As Snyder makes the grab, the Angels are retired. In the inning, 1 run, 1 hit. The Pujols homer is 4th this spring. In the inning, no errors and nobody left on. After 1, it's 1-0 Angels on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Mike Napoli leading it off for Texas. We go to the second inning. 1-0 Angels. First pitch from Trevor Bell. A strike on the outside corner. Bell had a pair of strikeouts in the first inning. They did not get the ball out of the infield against him. And the next pitch, Napoli takes low. 1-1. Fans, Welk Resorts and Angels Radio AM 830 have teamed up to bring you the official AM 830 fan club. Get AM 830 event and team news and updates all season long. Log on to am830fanclub.com. That's am830fanclub.com. Here's the 1-1. Napoli takes it low and outside. We were talking earlier before we got underway about the fact that, well, a few days ago we thought we might have a C.J. Wilson, Yu Darvish matchup here. Darvish ended up pitching in an intra-squad game today back in Surprise against some of the Ranger minor leaguers, and he went 5 innings. He gave up 4 runs, but he struck out 10 through 85 pitches. And as we speak, C.J. Wilson is pitching in a AAA game for the Angels against the Cubs AAA club. We'll probably get some numbers on his outing a little bit later on.
All about control environments, and both managers take advantage of it. If you have it, why not use it?
The count's full here on Napoli. Payoff pitch. He swings and misses. Chased a high one, struck him out. Trevor Bell off to a good start today, striking out 3 of 4, including the last 3 in a row.
He's not shying away from the strike zone or from contact. It's good to see this attitude from Trevor Bell. And he had a pretty decent year for the Angels, Terry, considering all the ups and downs he had. He still had a very respectable 3.41 ERA.
Yeah, his numbers were a lot better with the Angels than they were at AAA Salt Lake.
Couldn't get an out over there.
Here's Moreland at the plate, left-handed batter. He looks at one, and it's in there for a strike.
Check that out, the old hook. Slow curveball for a strike. That's when you know you're feeling comfortable out there and you have confidence.
Next pitch, that's lined and out of the reach of Kendrick. It's going to fall into right center field. Cutting it off is Bourjos, and he will fire it back to the infield and hold Moreland to a 1-out single. So the first Texas hit comes with 1 out here in the second, and Brandon Snyder will be the next batter.
Those are the things that make Peter Bourjos much more useful than just a guy that can track him down and catch him in the air and make outs. Just cutting down that base runner and not allowing him to take the extra base. And as we know very well, a couple of years ago, that was a huge problem in the Angels outfield with some aging outfielders.
So here's Snyder, who played a little bit for the Baltimore Orioles last year. He was in AAA most of last season. And he takes the first pitch for a ball. It's 1 ball, no strikes.
It's a good time for Trevor Bell to keep using that fastball that's moving so well. Try to get that ground ball here. Put your defense to work.
1 ball, no strikes. Next delivery, low and outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Infield at double play depth. The outfield is straight away. Light breeze blowing from right to left. Another full house today here at Tempe Diablo Stadium. The pitch lifted in the air into right field. Lazy fly ball coming in a few feet. Making the grab on it is Torrey Hunter. Snyder an easy out. 2 are gone, and Brad Hopp will bat. Fans, subscribe to MLB.TV Premium today. Watch over 150 select spring training games live with no blackouts, and every regular season game live or on demand on your favorite devices. Visit Angels.com for details. So here's Hopp getting ready to bat. We saw him in yesterday's ball game, and he hit a home run when he batted for the first time in that game yesterday in the 7th inning.
He looked like the old Hop.
Yeah.
The one we saw for so many years with the Colorado Rockies, hitting home runs everywhere.
Left-handed batter with power. Hop signed with the Rangers in the offseason, a minor league deal, trying to make their opening day roster, and he takes a big cut at that one and misses it. Count even 1-1.
Useful player. He can help you in the outfield. He can help you at first base, and of course in the American League is a pretty respectable designated hitter.
He's had 124 home runs in his big league career. He's had 4 20-plus home run seasons. The pitch. He takes that one for a strike.
I was talking earlier about Albert Pujols' hands and lockup mechanism and timing. Brad Hop, very loose grip, rhythm with the hands, back and forth. That's what his hitting coach Scott Coolbaugh wants from him. It's something that Hop has mastered through the years. How much has changed since his playing days with the Rockies. Very loose grip.
Bell's 1-2 pitch. He tried to sneak that one on the inside corner. It didn't miss by much. Close pitch, 2-2 the count.
Trying to get right underneath those hands. Good pitch. He should repeat it. I'm sure Scott Berry behind the plate knows that you will be pounding inside. Stay with it.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Next delivery, it's chopped foul on the third base side. Angels have a 1-0 lead thanks to an Albert Pujols first inning homer. The Angels bat in the bottom of this inning. The bottom of the second, it'll be Wells, Abreu, and Trumbo against Mark Hamburger. Trevor is ready. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. It's lifted in the air into shallow left center field. Bourjos is coming over, so is Wells, and it'll be Vernon who makes the call and catch and then tosses the ball out to the lawn area behind the left center field wall. The inning is over. For the Rangers here in the second, no runs, a hit, no errors. They leave a runner on. Bottom of the second coming up in Tempe. The Angels up 1-0 on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Vernon Wells leads it off for the Angels. Bottom of the second, takes the first pitch for a strike. It's 0-1. Angels have a 1-0 lead here in inning number 2. Mark Hamburger ready, and here comes his 1-strike pitch, and that one is fouled off right near the batter's circle. 0-2 on Vernon Wells. He'll be followed by Bobby Abreu and Mark Trumbo.
Vernon having a pretty decent spring already with a couple of home runs, 11 RBIs. He's been stinging the ball. The 275 average coming into today really doesn't know justice. He has made a lot of line drive outs.
Here's the 2-strike pitch, and he hits that one on one hop off the glove of the first baseman. Moreland picks it up, throws to the pitcher, covering late. Safe at first base is Vernon Wells. Likely be an error, but Wells is on to start things up for the Angels here in the bottom of the second.
And Wells has been doing exactly that too, using the other part of the field.
So the batter will be Bobby Abreu.
Ball mishandled by Moreland because of the spin, I believe.
Will be an error on the first baseman. Here's Abreu set to bat. Bobby just 4 for 33 this spring with an RBI, hitting 121. The pitch. That's a strike on the outside corner.
So you know what I think Bobby needs to do? He needs to have a Trevor Bell mentality today and just let it fly. You're a veteran player. Forget the numbers. Just go out there and let it fly.
Yeah.
Sometimes he's too cautious with the strike zone and this and that. You know, get your timing. Just swing the bat. Let it go.
0-1 to count on him. There goes the runner. The pitch is low and it skips away from Napoli, so no throw to second. That'll be a stolen base for Vernon Wells.
Excellent job by Vernon on a very good jump. It was not a hit and run play, straight steal. Great information provided by Alfredo Griffin at first base, and of course Dino Ebel. And flashing that green light for that particular pitch.
Well, we saw the Angels running on Napoli when he was behind the plate yesterday. He did throw out a couple. Angels on the move here early in this game. The pitch, that one is low and outside. 2-1 on Bobby Abreu with Mark Trumbo waiting on deck.
And Napoli for so many years not known as a very good receiver, but last season was a really turnaround year for him. His pitchers absolutely love throwing to him.
Here's the next pitch on Abreu. He takes another one, and that one is a pitch that is low, ball 3, 3-1. Outfield playing Abreu around to pull a bit. Infield is backed up. Counts 3-1. Here's the pitch. Chopped on the right side. It'll easily get Wells over to third. The one play at first in time to get Abreu. So a productive out there. He gets the runner to third with one away, and Mark Trumbo will be the batter.
It's productive out by Bobby Abreu, even though you want to see a little bit more oomph on that swing, though. You know, gets the job done, works a count. Those are for the team.
So here's Trumbo set to bat. Mark's having a nice spring, and he's playing third base today for the Angels.
I don't know, Terry. There's a nightmare. Infield in, Mark Trumbo up. I keep saying that. I mean it.
Yep. Trumbo hitting .355 this spring, and he swings at the first one and fouls it off.
See a lot of cases like this, and I'm talking as a former infielder, where your instinct, when a big man like this who hits laser low line drive is hitting, your first instinct sometimes to get on your heels as an infielder, anticipating something getting smoked right at you.
Yeah. Right-hander against right-hander. A couple big guys facing each other, and the 0-1 Trumbo takes, and that's a little bit low. Trumbo's numbers are kind of interesting here in the Cactus League. He's hitting .355. His batting average is actually higher than his on-base percentage. You very rarely ever see that.
You attribute that to, of course,
no walks.
Let him hit.
Right. He has not had a walk this spring in 31 at-bats. And he swings at that one and lifts it in the air. Not too deep in left center field. Coming in is Bourbon. He'll make the catch. Tagging is Vernon Wells. The throw cut off the relay to the plate late. It'll be a sac fly. We've seen Trumbo get his share of those this spring. And the Angels get an unearned run and lead it 2-0.
Oh, it all started with Eric Ibar's tag at third base when Trumbo hit a pop-up foul ball to third base, turned into a sac fly. And this is his 5th sac fly of the spring already. And you talk situational hitting. Look at the way the Angels manufacture this run here. Stolen base, get him over. Sac fly, get him in. 2 on the board.
Runner got on an error. So here's Bobby Wilson with 2 outs, a 2-0 Angels lead. He takes the first pitch high and away. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Wilson, who was sidelined earlier this spring, starting to see more action, and he's been swinging a good bat as he rolls that one softly to first. It's fielded by Moreland. He flips to the pitcher, and he will get to the bag for the out. It ends on a 3-1 ground out. The Angels get a run. No hits in the inning, 1 error, and nobody left. After 2, it's 2-0 Angels on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Fans groups of 25 or more can enjoy exciting Angels baseball for as low as $6 per seat. This year, when group tickets are purchased, each member will receive an Angels hat for select series. To book your group outing, call 888-796-HALO or visit angels.com/groups. Third inning we go. Alberto Gonzalez, the batter, and he takes the first pitch for a strike from Trevor Bell. Trevor staked to a 2-0 lead now. His next delivery, that's low and away. Gonzalez, Hernandez, and Bourbon, 8-9 top of the batting order for Texas. The 1-1. That one is fouled back. This lineup that Bell is facing certainly a lot different Texas lineup than what they'll feature in the regular season. They do not have Kinsler, Andrews, Hamilton, Beltre, Young, or Cruz in this lineup today.
You want to talk about more home runs?
All right.
Keep going.
Here's the pitch, and that one is inside, so the count 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Josh Hamilton swung the bat very well yesterday. Stroked the ball a couple times hard the opposite field.
Here's the next pitch. It's bounced softly on the left side, charging his Ibar, throws on the run, and gets Gonzalez by plenty. That is out number 1.
Yeah, fastball keeps running inside on those righties. Terry, good job tying up another right-handed hitter who could not complete his swing.
So the batter now is Luis Hernandez. He hit .240 last year in AAA. He's a switch hitter. And he's hitting .286 with the Rangers this spring. He's actually played a pretty lot for them this spring. 28 at-bats with 8 hits and 3 runs batted in. First pitch of ball. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Bell not wasting any time, delivers. There's a grounder hit right to second, gobbled up by Kendrick, and one second baseman throws out another. That's the second out.
Well, Trevor Bell last season, 64% ground balls on comp balls put in play. So far working very well here. Came up with a mentality of throwing hard or being a guy that could blow his fastball by people. They made him change that very quickly at this level.
Here's the pitch, Bourbon at the plate, and he was around a bunt, looks that one over, and it missed high and away. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Trevor Bell just happy to be injury-free right now here in spring training. The last couple of springs he's had some injury issues, as that one is in there for a strike. He had right shoulder soreness last spring, the spring before in 2010, a hamstring problem in spring training. The 1-1, and Bourbon again around a bunt, ends up taking that one.
Yeah, because of those injuries, he was limited to only 3 games in spring training last year. He pitched only 5 innings. He was already in inning number 8 here this spring.
And the pitch on its way, that's cut on and missed, so it's 2-2 on Bourbon. The Angels have had only 1 hit so far in the game, but 2 runs, and the 1 hit left the ballpark, the Pujols homer. 2-2, high and away. It's now 3-2, a full count. In the bottom of the 3rd inning, Bourjos, Ibar, and Kendrick will bat for the Halos. 3-2 payoff pitch. That is low and in, and it's ball 4. So the first walk issued by Trevor, a 2-out walk here in the 3rd inning.
You can see him shaking his head. He wouldn't break him ball on Bourbon full count. I'll be shaking my head too.
Gentry was slated to bat, but he is done for the day, and Connor Jackson will be pinch hitting for him. So not sure if that's by design or maybe
had to be an
had a little injury. Yeah,
had to be, especially today. You know, a lot of the regulars not being here, and Gentry was going to get a pretty extended look with his at bats, or a guy that came in hitting 130. Something must have happened.
So Connor Jackson, we saw him a little bit in yesterday's game. He will step up to the plate. Here's the pitch, and Jackson takes that one low and outside. He's had a tough spring at the plate. Really tough. 2 for 30 That's an .067 batting average. Trevor is ready. 2 outs, runner at first. Runner not going. The pitch that's fouled off on the right side. It's backing out of play. Fans, the ultimate fan experience is back on Sunday, April the 22nd. That's less than a month away. The Angels will host Fan Fest at the Big A. All fans in attendance have the chance to meet select 2012 Angels, take a photo with the Rally Monkey, listen to live music, and conclude the day watching the Angels take on the Orioles with a 12:35 start. More information and to purchase tickets, visit angels.com/fanfest. 1 ball, 1 strike on Connor Jackson, who was with the A's and Red Sox a year ago. And he steps out of the batter's box. Jackson played his college baseball at Cal Berkeley. He was a theater major. His father, John, an actor. The pitch. That's high and away.
Really? Well, there's a connection then, because the guy on the mound for the Angels was a child actor in Trevor Bell, the grandson of the late Bob Bell, also known as Bozo the Clown.
All right. Bozo the Clown in Chicago on WGN television, the super station.
25 years, Bozo the Clown. And Trevor Bell himself, a lot of experience doing some Hot Wheels commercials and other things.
Right.
And his mom was also a casting director in some shows.
Right. 2-1 pitch. Grounded right to the shortstop, fielded by Ibar. He double clutches, throws, and still has time to get the out at first base, and that will end the inning. So it ends on a 6-3 ground out as Jackson, the pinch hitter, is retired. No runs, hits, or errors. A walk. They leave a runner on. Move to the bottom of the third. 2-0 Angels on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Couple of changes already here for the Rangers as we go to the bottom of the third inning. Connor Jackson, who came into a pinch hit for Gentry, replaces him in right field. And the Rangers have a new pitcher. Robbie Ross takes over. He is a left-hander who has had a very good spring for them. He has really been on their radar screen this spring. And the first pitch on Peter Bourjos in there for a strike. So Hamburger, the starter, worked just 2 innings. Next pitch from Ross, that's low and outside. 1-1 the count. Hamburger gave up a hit, couple of runs, 1 earned. He did not walk or strike out anyone, the starter, and he did give up the home run to Pujols. Here's the next pitch on Bourjos. That's low. It's 2 balls, 1 strike.
Hamburger helped his cause, throwing 7 first pitch strikes out of 8 batters he faced. It's a very good rate.
2-1 pitch fouled back by Peter. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, Robbie Roster, another lefty from Kentucky, here in action.
There you go. Wonder if he and Scott Downs know each other. The 2-2. That's low and outside. So it's a full count, 3-2. Ross has worked 5 scoreless innings this spring, striking out 7. He hasn't walked a batter, and he's just struck out another one right there. Taking the pitch on the outside corner is Bourjos. Got him looking one away.
Well, Bourjos hasn't seen him yet, and then he comes at you with this different angle, a high 3/4, and the ability to throw a backdoor breaking ball for a strike. Yeah, that'll shock you once in a while. By the way, that's a 12th strikeout for Bourjos this spring, which is pretty high right now.
Yep. He's had 12 strikeouts and 11 hits. So with 1 gone, here's Ibar. He shows signs of bunting against the lefty and takes the pitch for a strike.
You want to keep finding more awkward stats and lopsided things like that?
Yep.
Pretty weird. And, yeah, it all happens with the amount of numbers in early spring training.
There's a pitch that's a little bit low. The Angels as a team hitting .306, and that is best among AL clubs this spring. Angels team ERA 3.46. That's 4th best among AL clubs in spring training.
I have last year's numbers for you just to compare.
1-2 pitch. Ibar takes outside.
And again, here we are with a week left. Angels as a team last year in spring training hit .283. ERA was 4.5. Let's see how it all ends up.
2-2. Ibar takes a called 3rd strike on the outside corner. So we mentioned that Ross has pitched very well for Texas, and he's bidding for a spot on their opening day roster, and he has struck out the first 2 batters looking here in the bottom of the 3rd.
Same pitch. Why change? Mike Napoli insistent that he throws that backdoor slider again. He does a fine job pushing off and having a good release point way out in front to get that last second bite.
At the plate is Howie Kendrick, and he swings through the first pitch for strike 1. So Ross has been pumping in strikes. Next pitch. There's another one, a called strike, and it's 0-2. Understand that Craig Gentry left the ball game because of dehydration. We mentioned how humid it is here today. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ross set the lefty's pitch. Howie bounces one by the mound. Charging is the shortstop. It's fielded by Gonzalez. The throw will nip Howie, and the inning is over. Angels have a quiet 3rd inning. No runs, hits, or errors. Nobody left. We move to the 4th. It's 2-0 Angels on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. David Murphy leads off the fourth inning for Texas. He takes the first pitch from Trevor Bell. It's on the outside corner for a strike. It's 2-0 Angels as we get the fourth underway. Murphy struck out his first time up, and he looks that one over. It's low and in. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Trevor Bell has looked good so far in this game. He's faced a total of 11 batters, retired 9 of them. The 1-1. It's chopped on the first base side, and a foul ball. Must have got a piece of the foot of Murphy there. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. Murphy was running it out to first base.
Hey, that's your best indicator right there. When the batter doesn't try to sell it, you know there's something going on.
Yeah. So it's called foul on the count 1-2. Here's the next pitch. That one misses high. Fans, the official book of Angels baseball now available at the Angels team store. This one-of-a-kind book features 50 years of excitement and Angels memories. Purchase your book today at the Angel team store. Open 7 days a week. Next pitch, a 2-2 delivery. It's slice foul on the left side, backing out of play.
Team stores here have been quite busy. There's so many different options. See fans flocking in and getting their favorite halos, favorite colors.
2-2, lined into center field. Bourjos comes in, but it's going to drop in front of him. And Murphy is on with a leadoff hit, a 2-strike single. So that's hit number 2 for Texas. They've actually out-hit the Angels, but the Angels lead the game 2-0.
I'll talk about Hamburger, how efficient he was in first pitch strikes against 8 hitters, 7 times first pitch strike. And Trevor Bell so far, 5 out of 12 first pitch strike against hitters. But he has been able to make pitches later in the count and come back into counts.
Mike Napoli is the batter. He struck out his first time up. The pitch, and he hits that one hard, but foul on the third base side.
That swing right there by Mike Napoli, that's called lift, separate, and let it fly. He's always been a very good hands hitter. The ability to wait and explode with the hands. Mickey Hatcher one time had him choking up a lot on the bat, especially with 2 strikes. And that really didn't sacrifice any of his power.
Napoli backs out of the box. Napoli has been bothered by some ankle issues that go back to last season.
Yeah, back to the World Series.
Right, World Series. Here's the pitch. He bounces that one on the third base side. Fair ball. Good stop by Trumbo. Second for 1, and no relay. But Trumbo handles that one with no trouble at all. That was not an easy play for Trumbo. And that's out number 1.
Excellent job. You know, a lot of fans get to see Trumbo play third base for the first time here this afternoon, and that's what loud applause there. Well deserved. Starting with the ball, that's been one of the keys with Alfredo Griffin in reminding him start with the ball, bend down, don't think about the throw before you have the ball in hand. Very good adjustment. Rob Picholo also offering a lot of advice. So the Angels have the luxury of 2 very good infield instructors in Picholo and Alfredo Griffin.
Here's Mitch Moreland batting, left-handed hitter. First pitch. That's low and away. Ball 1. It's 1-0.
Rob Picholo, Mike Scioscia's bench coach, and also a former Angels player.
Infield, a double play depth. Outfield straight away. 2-0 Angels here in the 4th. Next delivery, it's lined over the mound and through into center field. So stopping at second will be Napoli, on with his second straight hit as Moreland, and they have something brewing with 1 out for Brandon Snyder.
Every base hit he's given up has been on the off speed because he is rolling his breaking ball. It's not biting, and he's forcing the issue. Remember, the walk to Bourjos also with 2 outs, leadoff hitter was a breaking ball at 3-2 count. So you know, there's one thing to be working on some stuff and trying to perfect it, but Terry, I think Trevor needs to have his mind as to what this means to him right now.
Right. And his situation, he needs to be focused on getting outs as opposed to maybe working on some pitches here in spring training. There's one on the outside corner. It's a good-looking pitch that Snyder takes for a strike.
Not to say that there's not a time to do that, but you know, perspective right now is the fastball's been working. Keep using it. locating it well before you lose the touch of it, which can happen too.
0-1 the count. The pitch. That's low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Not a whole lot of speed on the bases with Napoli, the lead runner, at second, and Moreland on at first. One ball, 1 strike to count. Bell's next pitch fouled off right side. That's going to get back and out of play. Fans, the Angels 20-game flex plan gives you the chance to choose 20 games you want to see during the regular season. This plan has no blackout dates, a postseason option, and you receive a ticket to Fan Appreciation Day for free. Buy your flex plan today at angels.com/mini-plans or call 888-796-HALO. 1 ball, 2 strikes, right-hander against right-hander. Bell checks second, delivers. Fly ball lifted in the air to right field. Torrey Hunter is backpedaling. He's under. He'll make the grab. Napoli is going to tag, and he will advance to third. The other runner, Moreland, holding at first. So on the fly out number 2 with runners at the corners for Brad Hopp. Let's pause for station identification on the Angels Baseball Network. Terry Smith along with Jose Mota, our producer engineer Darren Chan. Sunday afternoon baseball. It's hard to believe this time next week, next Sunday, the Angels will play their final Cactus League game here in Arizona.
Heading on to Southern California for 3 exhibition games against the LA Dodgers. 1 at the Big A and 2 at Dodger Stadium.
So 2 outs, 2 on. The first pitch on Hopp, he takes that one low. It's 1-0.
Yeah, a week from tomorrow. Monday night baseball at the Big A.
Yep. Angels after today have 4 more home games here in Tempe and 3 more on the road. 1 ball, no strikes on Hopp. Left-handed batter. He chops this one on the right side. Should be the final out. Fielded by Howie. He'll throw him out easily. And the inning is over on the 4-3 ground out. Good job of getting out of some trouble by Trevor Bell here in the 4th. No runs. They had a pair of hits. No errors. They leave a pair on. Bottom of the 4th coming up. Still 2-0 Angels on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Fans of Jiffy Lube, they do so much more than just oil changes. And with over 120 Jiffy Lube locations throughout Southern California, you can always find one near you. Visit JiffyLubeSoCal.com for the location nearest you. That's JiffyLubeSoCal.com. Albert Pujols will lead it off. First pitch, and he takes that one a little bit low for a ball. The count 1 ball, no strikes. Pujols with a home run his first time up will be followed by Hunter and Wells, and the next delivery that's in there for a strike. Robbie Ross, the pitcher, working in his second inning of relief. He's a lefty, a quick worker. And the next pitch, swing and a miss.
Robbie Ross has good stuff, especially for the middle outs against righties. Late movement both ways, sideways and downwards.
Good fastball and good slider. And the next pitch, Albert fouls that one off his foot.
That's the downward action right there.
He's hobbling a little bit. 1-2 the count on the Angels' first baseman.
Oh, we heard the thunder in the first inning. And what happened? Big long ball by Albert. And this one is going to hurt for a while.
Pujols kind of flexing his foot a little bit. Now getting back in the batter's box. The 2-strike delivery. Low and away. 2-2 the count. Here's the 2-2 pitch. He one-hands that one out to the left fielder, waiting on it, and making the grab is David Murphy. Was hit right near him. And Albert is retired. That's out number 1.
Albert's actually hobbling over there a little bit, getting back to that dugout. He's going to be checked on.
Torrey Hunter will bat. He got the ball hard his first time up, but lined out to the third baseman, Brandon Snyder, to wrap up the Angels' first inning. We're in the 4th right now. The Angels have a 2-0 lead.
Torrey Hunter's still one of the most fun guys to be around. You don't know if he went 0 for 4, he's 0 for 23, or if he's 10 for 12.
Right.
Same demeanor every single day. But don't be mistaken that by the intensity, man. He's intense.
There's a pitch on the outside corner.
And he likes to tell you, hey, I have a football mentality, man. This is business.
Yeah. Here's the 1-1. And that one is a little bit outside, 2-1. Well, the bottom line with Torrey is he just loves to compete.
Oh, my goodness. And he is really very hungry for a ring.
Yeah.
He's come close, playoff-wise, but he wants that ring badly.
There's a pitch he cuts at and misses. 2-2 the count. Ross working so fast that Hunter steps out of the box to try and slow him down.
Maybe he's thinking, let me make sure I guard against that backdoor slider right here. Napoli's calling it.
2-2 delivery. That one's lined by the pitcher and through into center field.
That's just good hitting right there. Hey, you know what? Collect my thoughts. I saw the way he approached a Howie Kendrick and the way he struck out Ibar. Let me look away. That's just good hitting, man.
So Torrey's on. That's his first hit. Only the second Angel hit. And here's Vernon Wells, who reached on an error and then later scored a run. That was back leading off the Angels' bottom of the second.
And I mentioned that about collecting your thoughts because there's a lot of times when you talk to hitters about certain at-bats and they'll tell you, I should have just stepped out and called timeout. I was looking for something. I got away from my plan.
First pitch on Vernon, low and in.
And sometimes just a little timeout. Hey, timeout. There's nothing wrong with me. There's nothing in my eye. Just give me a little time. Collect my thoughts. Look for something. Get ready. Connect.
Ross working from the stretch and a lob toss over to first base. Torrey gets back to the bag. Mentioned last year Ross pitched in A ball. And last season he went 10-5 overall. He was a starter most of the time last year. There's a pitch that is inside. 2 balls, no strikes.
He has got some excellent minor league numbers ERA wise.
Was in Myrtle Beach and then Eventually got called up to Double-A Frisco, where he finished the season. His numbers in A-ball last year, he had a 2.26 ERA.
Looks like Rice has a little bit of the that rat tail that Hank Conger has as a haircut. Let's take a look at that.
Here's the pitch, and he just missed with that one a little bit outside. So Vernon sees the count go to 3-0.
Man, that is a well-sculptured rat tail on there.
What's that? The new
it's a new look
fad going on here in spring training?
Guess so. One guy does it, you know how it spreads.
Here's the pitch. That's a strike on the outside corner. Robbie Ross, a second-round pick back in 2008. Rangers selection.
Come on, Brandon!
3-1 the count on Wells. Next delivery, and he looks that one over and misses outside. So he's on for the second time today. Angels have something brewing with runners at first and second, one out. And here's Bobby Abreu. So the catcher Napoli goes out to have a word with Ross before Abreu gets a chance to dig in against him. And fans, are you looking to entertain a group for the Kenny Chesney and Tim McGraw concert on July the 14th? Well, how about reserving a suite for your friends, family, or business associates? There are a variety of suite locations and sizes available. For more info or to reserve your suite, just call 714-940-2094. So Abreu is the batter. He's had only one RBI this spring. He steps up with two runners on here. He grounded out his first time up. Abreu is 4 for 34 this spring. The pitch. He breaks his bat and bounces the ball to second. Could be two. Flip to second. Relay to first. It is a double play to end the inning. So they turn two, and that's it for the Angels' threat here in the fourth. In the inning, no runs, one hit, one walk, no errors, one runner left. Fifth inning coming up. It's 2-0 Angels on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Here we go to the fifth inning as Trevor Bell works with a 2-0 lead. Alberto Gonzalez, the first batter, and the first pitch right in there for a called strike. Gonzalez, Hernandez, and Bourbon, 8-9, top of the batting order for Texas. 0-1 pitch. That's low and away. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, Trevor Bell using that fastball struck out 3 out of the first 4 batters he faced in this game. Since that, more contact.
It's a breaking ball. It's fouled back behind the plate.
But I must say, Terry, he got away from the curveball and the changeup after the Moreland base hit. came back to the fastball and dominated Snyder with a fly out and Hop with a ground out.
Here's the 1-2. A high fly ball lifted into shallow left field. Coming in is Vernon Wells. He's under. He'll put it away. An easy out, one gone here in the fifth. Luis Hernandez will be the next batter. Fans, be sure to check out the latest Angels merchandise available at locations inside Tempe Diablo Stadium, or shop the widest selection of gear at the Angels team store located at the Big A. Don't forget, the Angels team store at the Big A is open daily. Here's the pitch, and that's in there for a called strike on the switch hitter Hernandez, batting from the left side. 2 runs, 2 hits for the Angels. No runs, 3 hits for Texas. Next pitch. That one is low.
That was a breaking ball with the most bites he's thrown all day. Much better finish over that front leg.
Here's the next pitch. That one a little bit low. 2-1 to count. This could be the final inning for Trevor Bell.
Yeah, right now, Terry, he's at 71 pitches through 4 1/3.
And we'll see if he can get through this 5th inning. The next pitch, that's fouled off the screen. It drops right over near Ron Washington, who's on one of the seats outside their dugout near their on-deck circle.
If you want to make the team, Louis, don't hit the manager. It's a bad idea.
Yep.
Let him know you have a little bat speed, okay? Don't aim that way.
I guess that's one way to get back at your manager if you're mad at him.
Don't try that.
Here's the 2-2. Another one fouled off on the left side, but this one is way up in the air, out of play.
Oh, no Andres Blanco, no Esteban Herman, so guys like Hernandez and Gonzalez taking a longer look here this spring for the Rangers. Esteban Herman is in Japan.
2-2 pitch. That's nubbed foul back behind the plate. So the count stays at 2-2. The Angels today expected to use Scott Downs out of the bullpen. Jason Isringhausen, Kevin Jepson, they're all on the board. And the Angels have a couple of pitchers up from minor league camp as well. The 2-2, and that's low and inside. Mentioning players up from minor league camp, Mike Scioscia's son, Matt Scioscia, is in uniform for this game. He's been at a few games already this spring with the Angels, but has yet to play in a game for the Halos.
Hope you see him in action here.
3-2 delivery, and that one is low, ball 4. And we see Mike Scioscia getting up and heading out to the mound, so that could be it for Trevor Bell. We mentioned you're hoping 5 innings, 75 pitches.
Yeah, he's at 76 as we speak right now.
So there you go. It looks like we'll see him move to the bullpen, and sure enough, we will. So break in the action, a pitching change coming up. Bell did a nice job today. Shutout baseball as he leaves, although the runner on base is property. We'll take a break. It's 2-0 Angels here in the top of the 5th inning on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. The new pitcher for the Angels is young right-hander Daniel Tillman. We've seen him pitch a few times for the Angels this spring. In fact, this will be his 7th appearance, and he's done a nice job. He's worked 5 innings, allowing no earned runs, so he will take on Bourjos with a runner at first base, 1 out, and the Angels leading 2-0 here in the 5th inning. Trevor Bell went 4 1/3, giving up 3 hits right now, no runs. He walked 2, struck out 3. So Bourjos, who's had a walk and a ground out, steps up. Trumbo is in at 3rd with 1 away, and the pitch that's in there for a strike.
Well, ironically, there's another number 81, Terry. He's in the dugout, and we're just talking about Matt Scioscia. There's a young Scioscia right there.
He could see some action late in the game. Tillman, who's pitching now, is also wearing the same number as Matt Scioscia, number 81. And the pitch, that is line foul down around the Texas bullpen.
Just to make sure we didn't think Scioscia brought him to pitch here just to get him in, okay?
Right. I didn't get a chance to ask Angel manager Mike Scioscia today, but I was wondering if he's ever managed his son in a baseball game at any level.
Let's find out.
Yeah. Here's the pitch, and that one is low and in, because normally when Matt would be playing high school or even little league, things like that, Mike Scioscia was either
being Mike Scioscia,
right, involved in the pro game. 1-2 pitch, that's chopped foul, and the count stays at 1-2. Mike Scioscia has obviously seen his son Matt play before, but whether or not he's ever managed him in a game,
yeah, you and I got to see Matt Scioscia play here in this ballpark, a night game when he was playing for Notre Dame.
Right, Mike Scioscia was here watching that.
Yep.
1 ball, 2 strikes the count here on Bourjos. Tillman's next delivery, that's high and outside. The Angels drafted Matt Scioscia last June, a 45th round pick. He played his college baseball at Notre Dame. Here's the pitch. Runner goes. The pitch is slapped on the third base side by Trumbo, but a foul ball. So it's still 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Tell another young pitcher who really has learned a lot, he's told me, just by being around Weaver, Santana, Heron, C.J. Wilson, and also the guys in the bullpen. You know, picking up some tidbits here and here about when he comes into a game, what to look for, what pitchers have been working for certain guys, and a guy that certainly is in the Angels depth chart here for the future.
He bluffs the runner back to first base. Tillman last year at Inland Empire in Cedar Rapids, he has a good sinking fastball, top out around 95, solid slider, and a strikeout pitcher since turning pro. He was a 2nd round pick of the Angels in 2010. The 2-2 lifted in the air into center field. Bourjos has to go back on it, still going back, has a beat, now under, will put it away. And the base runner at first base, Hernandez, he was on the move, so he has to go back to first, even though that ball was hit pretty far. He was unable to tag on it, so that's out number 2.
Hit far, and as always, Peter Bourjos makes it a little easy. Those are the toughest balls to read because they're right at you, and what you saw Bourjos do is never take a straight shot, straight route behind the ball. He always had a little daylight between he and the baseball, knowing that when a left-handed hitter hits the ball, that ball is going to be slicing right into him. Very nice job.
So here's Connor Jackson. He's been up once without a hit. He grounded out. The pitch, and that one dusts him off the plate a little bit. Ball 1. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Rangers have some action in their bullpen. They have a right-hander warming up. Tillman is set, and a quick pickoff toss. Diving back to the bag goes the base runner Hernandez. Tillman gets positioned on the far third base corner of the pitching rubber.
Well, you talked about the heavy sinker up to 95 miles an hour against righties. That's the idea. Work on that side, make them feel more uncomfortable.
Runner goes, the pitch, that one is a strike, throw to second. It is in time to end the inning. Bobby Wilson guns down the base runner Hernandez, and that'll do it. The inning is over on the caught stealing. In the inning, no runs, hits or errors, a walk but nobody left. Bottom of the fifth coming up here in Tempe. It's 2-0 Angels on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. The Rangers bring in their third pitcher of the day. Sean Green will take over for Robbie Ross. Ross worked 2 innings. He gave up a hit, no runs, walked a batter, and struck out 2. So Sean Green will get ready to work. Mark Trumbo will be the first batter to face him. And here's the first pitch. Trumbo looks that one over. It's in there for a strike. You can hear the wind in the background starting to pick up a bit, blowing out to left center. Green is working in his 7th game, and this spring an 0-1 record, ERA of 6.35. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Trumbo takes the low and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Green working exclusively from the stretch. Next pitch on Trumbo. That's fouled back behind the plate.
We're talking about Trumbo, who still has not walked this spring. He walked only 25 times last year. On base percentage of .291. Average of .254. 29 home runs. 5 sac flies, by the way, this spring. He had 4 all of last year in regular season.
There's a ball bounced foul on the third base side. So he's had the 10 RBIs this spring, and half of them have come on the flies.
Once Mark Trumbo was cleared by the LA doctors in late February, it was full on. Third base, first base, DH, right field.
1-2 pitch. He reaches at that one and fouls it off right in the batter's circle. So the count holding. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Sure, and because of all of that, he's had to put a little extra time in, more than anybody in this camp, in multiple positions. He's been involved in PFPs, and, you know, pitching fielding practice at first and at third.
Sit down, buddy.
Sean Green last year spent some time with Milwaukee. And the next pitch, that one is swung on and missed, and down on strikes goes Trumbo. So he's retired. One gone here in the Angels' fifth.
That's what you call tying up a big man inside. It doesn't have to be with velocity, but with late movement. It's good pitching.
Bobby Wilson will bat. The Rangers reliever, Sean Green, big guy, 6'6", 230-pounder. He hails from Louisville, Kentucky. Here's the pitch, and that one misses outside.
Well, so that could make it 3 today from Kentucky, and pulling for their basketball team. Scott Downs supposed to pitch here today too.
Right, he's a big UK fan.
So Robbie Ross, and here's Sean Green.
Here's the next pitch. That is lined off of Green. The ball caroms over to the second baseman, and Hernandez will throw over to first base in time. So Green had that one shoot right back to the mound.
Oh, luckily this solid line drive by Bobby Wilson doesn't hit him squarely on one of his knees. For a tall man, he really got out of the way very quickly.
So Bourjos will bat, 2 outs. Peter took a called third strike his first time up and looks that one over. It's outside. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Understand the University of Kentucky beat Baylor today, 82-70. So that means the Wildcats are now on the Final Four.
There you have it. Keep the parade going on the mound.
So Scott Downs, if he does come in to pitch, and we're expecting him to pitch, he should be in a good mood right now. Not that he isn't normally, but maybe even feeling a little bit better about the fortunes of his college basketball team. 3-0 is the count on Bourjos.
Yes, I will let him swing right here.
We'll see if Mike Scioscia does that. And here's the pitch on Bourjos. He takes, that's in there for a strike. Full house today. The Angels figure to have their 8th sellout out of 11 games here at Tempe Diablo Stadium. The 3-1, and that one is cut on a miss. So now it's a full count, 3-2.
Oh, last year Peter Bourjos, I recall that first series in Kansas City, got a green light 3-0 pitch, and he swung at ball 4, and that was last time he ever did that. Oh, last year.
3-2 delivery. This time he's going to take a walk. That pitch was outside. So 2-out walk, speedy runner on. We'll see if Bourjos might be on the move with 2 outs. Sidebar will be the batter.
Terry, that's 56 total walks for the Angels as a team, and that's still the lowest amount in the American League this spring. So a lot of walks. The first week of spring, the Angels taking a lot of walks.
Right, really did.
But also remember, that was all related to also a lot of young arms on the mound from the other ball clubs.
The other thing where the Angels don't rank real highly this spring is in turning double plays. Angels last in the Cactus League in that department, but that could be a little bit deceiving, that statistic. You might have a lot of pitchers striking out batters.
Yeah, where are the base runners?
A whole lot of people aren't even getting on against your pitchers.
Yeah, we have a 3.46 ERA, even with little double plays. I will take the 3.46 ERA anytime.
So here's Ibar at the plate. Bourjos draws a throw over at first base. He dives back. Eric is 0 for 2 today with a strikeout and a ground out. The Angels have a 2-0 lead. We're in the bottom of the 5th here in Tempe. Snyder, the third baseman, in on the grass. Green ready. They pitch out. Nothing brewing. 1 ball, no strikes on Eric Ibar. The Angel runs today, one of the 2 unearned. First run came on a Pujols first inning solo homer. And then the only other run in this game, scoring when the Angels got it in the second inning when Wells reached on an error and scored on a sac fly. There's a swing and a miss by Ibar. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You're talking about Mike Napoli and how well he's throwing the ball. Threw out 2 base runners for the Angels yesterday. He and Torrealba have combined to go 8 for 11 this spring in throwing out attempted base stealers. Remarkable.
1-1 is the count. The next pitch, that's outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Kind of odd seeing Napoli catch back-to-back games here in this series, but I guess they wanted to keep Torrealba paired with Yu Darvish.
That, and also keep testing Napoli back-to-back because of the ankle situation too.
Yep. 2-1. That's low and away, ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike.
So it seems like Darvish in his minor league start was hot and cold. What, 11 strikeouts?
Yeah, he gave up 4 runs in 5 innings, and we heard 10 strikeouts. Now we're hearing he had 11. He threw 85 pitches apparently. There goes Bourjos, 3-1. That is going to be ball 4. Napoli throws to second. It doesn't matter. It's a walk to Ibar, so Bourjos entitled to second base, and the Angels have 2 on with 2 outs on a pair of 2-out walks, and Howie Kendrick will be the next batter.
Well, that would have been another thrown out runner right there. Good at bat by Eric Ibar, who have been getting out of his zone a little bit the last couple of days. And guess who's going to see strikes right here?
Howie is the batter with Pujols waiting on deck. So we'll see if Kendrick can come through. He's grounded out a couple of times today. He's had a very good spring. Came in hitting .486. Here's the pitch, low and away.
That menacing presence in the on-deck circle should do wonders for whoever ends up hitting second for the Angels this season.
Green had walked only 2 batters in 6 appearances here in the Cactus League coming into today, but he's walked back-to-back batters here in this inning. 1-0 pitch in there for called strike.
2 pitches to sinker ballers, or that is his fastball.
They have a left-hander up in their bullpen. Neil Kotz is slated to pitch for him. He's a lefty reliever. The 1-1, that's low and inside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Green is really laboring with his control. He has thrown 22 pitches here in this inning, and that was after he retired the first 2 batters to start the inning off. He's set the next pitch inside, ball 3. 3-1 on Kendrick. He's on the verge of walking the bases loaded here. And that's about the last thing he wants to do, especially with the guy waiting on deck.
Got to be sitting dead red right here.
3 balls, 1 strike. 2 outs, runners on the move. The pitch, it's line foul on the right side. Howie a little bit late with the swing there, so it's a full count.
It's good to see those runners in motion too, not waiting for the full count. As Bourjos himself has not been attempting a lot of steals so far here this spring. We have 2 guys on base, capable, very capable of stealing 30+ for you in the regular season.
So full count, 2 outs. And now Green bluffs a toss to second. So that got Bourjos to walk back to the bag. Howie Kendrick has driven in 13 runs this spring. And in a situation here where a hit could mean a run. 3-2 payoff pitch. It's bounced by the mound out near second. It's stopped by Hernandez. His throw to first is in time. The Angels threaten but fail to score here in the bottom of the 5th. No runs, hits, or errors in the inning. A couple of walks and 2 runners left. 6th inning is coming up. 2-0 Angels on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Fans, Sebulba Casino, Southern California's premier gaming and entertainment hotspot. Sebulba Casino voted loosest slots in the Inland Empire 4 years running. Sebulba Casino, where winning is just the beginning.
Terry, look who's on the mound. Which school is represented again?
Scott Downs from the University of Kentucky. He's on the hill, so he takes over for Daniel Tillman, who got a couple of outs in relief of Trevor Bell last inning. And now Downs becomes pitcher number 3 of the day for the Angels. He faces Connor Jackson, and the lefty's first pitch a little bit low. 1 ball, no strikes.
Scott Downs, outstanding command with that 2-seam fastball, 4-seam fastball, curveball, slider. It's going to be around the zone.
This is his 4th appearance this spring. And the next pitch, that one a little bit low. It's 2 balls, no strikes. Downs' numbers so far this spring are not all that good, but the last time we saw him pitch, which was a game against the Kansas City Royals, that was a game on Thursday. He pitched a scoreless inning, and that one struck out a batter. Here's the 2-0. Jackson takes that one for a strike.
You know, he and LaTroy Hawkins, Terry, you take away their first outing, and they've been on their game. They both actually made their spring debuts a little bit later as veteran pitchers, but they're a little rusty ever since they've gotten straightened out.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. A little bit outside, ball 3. 3-1 on Connor Jackson. Hope you're enjoying the action wherever you're listening or watching Angels baseball this afternoon from Tempe Diablo Stadium. Terry Smith, Jose Mota, and our producer engineer Darren Chan. It's 2-0 Angels, top of the 6th. The 3-1 pitch lifted in the air into center field. It's hit well. Going back on that one is Bourjos, still going back, and he runs it down in dead center. Out on the warning track. He looked like a wide receiver making an over-the-shoulder grab. That's out number 1.
Very few in baseball can cover that type of ground and make it look so easy back there. Again, daylight, watching the ball very well, right into that glove. We can't say it enough. The time Peter Bourjos spends in the outfield during batting practice working on his jumps, reading balls off the bat.
So the batter now is David Murphy. And the first pitch, that one is low. Of course, Bourjos grew up here in the valley, so he's been handling these weather conditions and the sky and the wind and things like that his whole life. He's in familiar territory. Here's the pitch.
And only one guy got in the way of a Gold Glove. His name is Jacoby Ellsbury for the Boston Red Sox, commanding center field over there in Fenway. And Bourjos amongst baseball leaders in saving runs for his ball club.
Sure. 2-0 the count on Murphy. Lefty-lefty matchup. Next pitch. That's low and outside, and Downs falls behind 3-0. Murphy has one of the 3 hits for the Rangers. They've out-hit the Angels 3 hits to 2, but the Angels lead the game 2-0 here in the 6th. The 3-0 pitch. That's a strike on the outside corner.
Mike Napoli's been the only Ranger to get past second base. And that was back in the 4th inning.
They failed to get him in from third when they left 2 runners on that inning. The pitch on Murphy fouls one off to our left back and out of play. Tomorrow the Angels are back in action right here in Tempe, taking on the Colorado Rockies, a team the Angels will also face in interleague play during the regular season. And that'll either be Garrett Richards or Jerome Williams on the mound for the Angels.
Now let's clarify that, as we were told by Mike Socha this morning.
There's a bouncer hit right to second. Howie Kendrick has it, and he will throw out Murphy, and that's the second out. The Angels, in one fashion or another, will pitch both Williams and also Richards tomorrow. One is going to pitch in a minor league game, and one will pitch in the game against the Rockies. So we'll see who gets the assignment for the Halos tomorrow.
It will be the first time Jerome Williams actually gets on the mound.
Right, pitches in a game here in Arizona.
And Mike Socha mentioned he's going to go 3 or 45, so he's going to be, in a way, you know, push a little bit ahead from what certain guys and most guys do their first time out. So Williams healthy with that left hamstring strain he suffered early in camp and ready to go. Richards, in the meantime, continues to pitch very well.
Yeah, he really has.
Along with Brad Mills, the lefty.
Yeah. We haven't seen Mills pitch a lot because he's pitched in some of those split squad games that we didn't cover.
And also pitch a minor league game here when the team was off last Wednesday.
During the off day. Here's the 2-0. Lifted in the air into right field. Napoli gave it a pretty good ride, but it's a routine play for Torrey Hunter. He's there. He'll put it away, and the inning is over. So Downs puts him down 1-2-3 here in the 6th. We're headed to the bottom of the 6th inning. 2-0 Angels on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. New pitcher for Texas as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Neil Kotz, who's on kind of a comeback trail right now, will go for the Rangers. He will face Albert Pujols here to start off things for the Angels in the 6th inning. Kotz becomes their 4th pitcher of the day. He replaces Green, who worked a scoreless inning last inning against the Angels, walking a couple, striking out one.
Kotz was on his fast track to the big leagues. The very good arm. But the injuries really took a toll on him. And as you mentioned, trying to come back here.
Here's his pitch, and the first one is cut on and missed for strike one. It's no balls and a strike. Kotz has had 4 surgeries performed on his hip. And here's the next pitch. That one is swung on and missed. And it's 0-2.
Just with all the talk we've had about Tommy John surgeries, lefties, righties, multiple Tommy John surgeries, that's happened too. Now we're talking about hip injuries this young man has had.
All right. 2-strike pitch. That's low. He has a 5.87 ERA with the Rangers this spring. This is his 7th appearance, 7 2/3 innings. He's given up 12 hits and 5 earned runs. 1-2 the count on Pujols. Infield back, the outfield playing him around a bit to pull. And Albert tires of waiting on Kotz and backs out of the box. Now everyone appears to be ready. The 1-2 pitch, hard hit grounder, but right to short. Handled cleanly by Gonzalez. His throw in plenty of time. There's one away.
Well, Albert's hit on the nose 3 times here today. The home run. Line drive out of here in the 1st inning, and then line out to left, and this sharply hit ground ball to the shortstop.
Torrey Hunter will be the batter. Torrey's had a single and 2 times up. Here's the pitch, and that one is in there for a called strike. They had a big fundraising event in the Phoenix area last night, and it's an annual event connected to Muhammad Ali. Big fight night to raise money for Parkinson's disease. And
a lot of celebs made their way over here.
That's right. Some of them are even here at the ballpark today. And we've seen the champ Muhammad Ali visit spring training camp from time to time. Here's Torrey swinging and missing a pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, the champ actually took part in one of the morning meetings a few years back.
I remember that. Yeah. So not sure if we'll see him this spring or not, but he recently had his 70th birthday, if I'm not mistaken. Muhammad Ali. 1-2 pitch. Hit way up in the air into left center field. Waiting for it to come down is Murphy, the left fielder. He puts it away. Torrey is retired. That's the second out. So the batter will be Vernon Wells. Vernon's been on base a couple of times today without a hit. He's reached on an error, stolen a base, scored a run. He's also walked. He's officially 0 for 1. Kotz is set. Here's the lefty's pitch. First one is high. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the 1-0. That's in there for a called strike on the outside corner. We've yet to get the official attendance, but certainly looks like we have 9,000 plus here today. They're packed in as usual here.
These are approaching 100,000 fan mark already. Getting closer and closer to that mark, and it's been terrific knowing that we have 3 more at home.
After today's game, 4 more games here in Tempe as that one is low and inside. The Angels today will surpass their spring training attendance of last spring. The Angels were only roughly 3,000 away from doing that, so we have somewhere in the 9,000 plus range today. And the Angels could actually set an all-time Tempe Diablo spring training record for total attendance. Angels have to average a little under 9,000 a game for the remaining home games, and very well could do that.
Terry, all the advice you gave during your Angel talk this winter, telling fans plan early, make sure you get your tickets. They listen to you,
right?
Just like I do.
Well, with all that excitement, that's why we had that show on to
plan ahead.
Plan ahead. 3-1 pitch, bounced on a high hop and through the left side of the infield for a base hit. That was an Arizona spring training single right there for Vernon Wells up that hard dirt. He's on for the 3rd time today, and Bobby Abreu will be the next batter.
Hey, whatever it takes. Use the elements, just like you were talking about Peter Bourjos. Know the territory when he's out there fielding. Early in spring, maybe not. The ground is a little softer.
So just the 3rd Angel hit today. Rangers have had 3 as well.
And Bobby gets to see another lefty. Between Langerhans, Bobby Abreu, Cole Calhoun.
Yep. There's a pitch that misses, snap throw to first, and getting back to the bag goes Vernon Wells.
They have seen a lot of lefties this spring.
One ball, no strikes. Trumbo would be up next. The Angels have a 2-0 lead, batting here in the bottom of the 6th. Kotz delivers, and that pitch in there for a strike. Last few innings, that wind has picked up. Some of the hitters who hit the ball to left center field are going to be aided by that wind blowing out in that direction. 1-1 pitch. Abreu bounces one on the left side, backhanded by the shortstop. Gonzalez flips to second. It's in time to get Vernon Wells, and the inning will end on the 6-4 fielder's choice. Not a whole lot happening for the Angels in the 6th. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, a runner left. 7th inning is next. 2-0 Angels on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Fans, don't forget, one of the most popular giveaways of the season is coming up on April the 7th. The Angels take on the Royals with game time at 1:10, and all fans in attendance will receive a Big A fleece blanket courtesy of State Farm while supplies last. Purchase your tickets. Visit the Angels Stadium ticket office or angels.com. New pitcher for the Angels, Francisco Rodriguez. He replaces Scott Downs. Downs worked a clean 6th inning. No strikeouts in his 1 inning of work. And now Francisco Rodriguez gets ready to face the left-handed hitting Mitch Moreland. First pitch. That one is in there for a called strike.
Well, Francisco needs a good outing to build the confidence and also to follow the leader. Everything here was set up by the tempo Trevor Bell had in that first inning. Tillman, Downs followed. Is Francisco's turn right now.
Next pitch, that's fouled back to the screen. It's 0-2. This appearance is 7th this spring. No wins, 1 loss. He's had 2 saves, and his ERA is 3.52.
You know, the opponents are only hitting in the 220s against him, but you take away 3 walks and his numbers will be even better. He needs to go out there and trust his stuff.
The 0-2 pitch. Moreland lifts one in the air into left field. Routine play for Vernon Wells. Has to wait for it to come down. He puts it away, and that'll be the first out. 1 quick out. Brandon Snyder will be the next batter.
They tear the days of the split squats over. See ya.
That's right. No more left, and Mike Scioscia going with his regulars longer here in today's game. We're in the 7th inning. He hasn't really made any moves other than pitching changes.
It's that time. Start clicking. The bell's about to ring.
So here's Snyder batting, and he swings at the first pitch and fouls it back behind the plate. Angels with 2 runs on 3 hits. The Rangers, no runs, 3 hits. Texas getting a little more action in their bullpen. Here's the next pitch from Rodriguez. That's low and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the 1-1 pitch. A slider low and away. It misses. 2 balls, 1 strike. Francisco's 2-1 pitch. That's grounded foul over on the third base side. Let's pause for station identification here on the Angels Baseball Network. Great to have you with us on this Sunday. Terry Smith, Jose Mota, and Darren Chan from Tempe Diablo. It's 2-0 Angels in the 7th. The next delivery, it's grounded foul over by the batter waiting on deck, Brad Hopp. 2-2 the count. What was it a couple years ago, Jose? Francisco Rodriguez was telling us he was a very good amateur soccer player in Mexico.
He almost got signed by Cruz Azul.
Right.
Very respected soccer club in Mexico.
It's a pitch a little bit low and outside. 3-2.
He went to a practice with a friend of his that was playing with that team, and he started kicking a ball, kind of just messing around, and the coach said, hey, by the way, can you continue to do that? See, before you knew it, kind of got his enthusiasm going and became a pretty good soccer player himself.
Here's a little poke shot into left center that's going to drop in for Snyder, so he has a 1-out single on that 3-2 pitch. He has his first hit of the day. And Brad Hopp will be the next batter.
Now Francisco has a very good arm. At one point, a couple years back, and I know we said this before, Mike Scioscia was ready to start putting him in the later innings. And then he just took a step backwards and was trying to find his way ever since. Cut fastball. He could get to the mid-90s even with the injury he suffered last year. That's really has had no ill effects on his arm and his shoulder.
He had shoulder tendonitis last season. He's a guy, sometimes he just kind of gets down on himself.
Yeah, just lack of trust.
Right. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That's a little low and outside. It's 2 balls, no strikes on Brad Hopp. You often hear in this game the mental part of the game even bigger than the physical part. That's why little guys can compete with big guys on the equal plane here in this sport. The pitch. That one is a strike on the outside corner. 2-1 to count.
I was talking to Albert Pujols about that, about the mental side of hitting. What percentage he thinks? 100%.
Wow.
So it's about confidence that you bring to the box. That's the difference between a good hitter and a mediocre hitter.
2-1 delivery. Swing and a miss. He threw that one by him.
With all of that goes ability, and the ability some guys have and scoring pitches off. But when it comes down to putting the work in and being able to perfect your skill, he goes, anybody could be a decent hitter, but you have to have your mind in it, from planning to anticipating to knowing what your strengths are. That comes from Albert Pujols, so no questioning.
There's a pitch that's low and inside. It's now 3-2. Well, you could really look at any line of work, Jose, and if you're not feeling good about yourself or your situation, the odds of you being productive in whatever field you're in, not too good.
Excellent point.
3-2 the count. And the payoff pitch skied in the air way up in right center field. Bourjos is going after it. He's calling off Torrey. He's under. He'll make the catch. The runner at first is going to tag. The throw to second. It's close, and just getting in safely is Snyder. That was a heck of a throw by Bourjos because that ball was hit pretty deep. It was way up in the air. It's a fly out for the second out, but the runner does move up to second, and with 2 outs, Gonzalez will be the next batter.
And because of the wind, he actually caught it as he's backpedaling, so he did not have that full motion and coming forward with some momentum and making that throw, and he still made a very good throw against the wind. I mean, look at that flag in center field. Man.
Yep, wind picking up. Supposed to be a little bit cooler tomorrow, and then by Tuesday, as we get deeper into the week, it's really supposed to heat up into the high 80s later on this week.
Just in time for a little Southern California cool comfort.
Yeah. 1 ball, no strikes on Alberto Gonzalez. 7th inning, runner at second, 2 outs. The pitch, that's low and away. 2-0 the count. Rodriguez, pitcher number 4 for the Angels here. Bell started the game. Trevor Bell did a nice job. Worked into the 5th inning. 2-0 pitch. That's low.
Well, Trevor Bell, I would say, Terry, with that outing will at least put himself in a better spot when it comes down to one of the bullpen spots to open the season. The Angels will not open with 5 starters on the roster.
Angels figure to carry 7 relievers on the opening day roster. The 3-0 pitch, that's in there for a strike. Well, this part of the batting order, Jose, would really like to see Francisco Rodriguez attacking the hitters right now. You're facing the bottom part of their batting order.
Get after it.
He's behind 3-1. The next pitch, and that one is up and in. He walks him. So runners at first and second with 2 outs. They have the go-ahead run coming to the plate, and it'll be the 9-hole hitter, the second baseman, Luis Hernandez. The attendance today, 9,613, 96.13, which is another sellout, the 8th sellout out of the 11 games the Angels have played so far this spring here at Tempe Diablo. The pitch, that's lined but right near Howie, and he will make the catch about knee high on that liner. The inning is over. Ball's hit hard, but It was hit right near the Angels' second baseman. In the inning, no runs. They had a hit, a walk, no errors. They leave a pair. Bottom of the seventh coming up. It's seventh inning stretch time in Tempe. It's 2-0 Angels on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Welp Resorts and Angels Radio AM 830 have teamed up to bring you the official AM 830 fan club. Get AM 830 event and team news and updates all season long. Log on to am830fanclub.com. That's am830fanclub.com. A new pitcher in the game for the Rangers, their fifth of the day. Yoshinori Tateyama will take over. He replaces Neil Katz, who worked a scoreless inning, giving up a hit to the Angels in the bottom of the sixth. We go to the bottom of the seventh. 2-0 Halos as Trumbo digs in against Tateyama, and he takes that one for a called strike. Tateyama was in 39 games for Texas last year. 2-0 record, 4.50 ERA. And the pitch, it's popped behind second. It's going to find a spot and drop into shallow center for a base hit. Trumbo has his first hit today, a leadoff single here in the seventh. Angels have hit number 4 of the day. Darwin Perez is going to run for Trumbo, so his day is done. Bobby Wilson will be the batter.
Another productive day for Mark Trumbo with the glove at third base. A sac fly and a single.
So here's Wilson, right-handed batter. Bobby has gone 0 for 2 today, and the first pitch, he drops down a bunt on the first base side. It'll easily get the runner up to second. Applying the tag is the first baseman over there, Moreland, on Wilson. Sacked in order as Perez moves up to second with 1 out, and Bourjos will be the batter.
That's a great job. Anytime you see Mike Socha leave his seat next to the dugout, go out there and say, well done. You know how much it means to play that well-rounded game. Even with all the power and all the injection of slugging that might be in the Angels lineup nowadays, this is a huge part of their game for 162, hopefully plus.
So here's Bourjos, a strikeout and a walk today. 2-0 Angels, bottom of the seventh. The pitch, Peter fouls that one off back over to the screen there where the Rangers coaches are seated. And the count 0-1. You were talking about Trumbo being lifted for the pinch runner. He played third base today. It really wasn't the hot corner. It was more like the cold corner today at third base. He had only one opportunity, but he made a nice play on that one chance he had today. Excellent. Not a whole lot of action there.
Excellent reaction.
Tateyama bluffing a pickoff toss to second base.
Not only are the Rangers hoping Tateyama brings some quality innings out of the bullpen, but he's a big asset to them because he's also very close to Yu Darvish, their newest Japanese import, and could be really something that could be very comforting to Darvish as he makes a transition to the U.S.
Sure. That's a pitch that misses low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tateyama pitched 11 years in Japan and then was with Texas last season. 36 years old. One ball, 1 strike to count. Long look at second. Here's the pitch, and that breaking ball is in there for a strike.
Frisbee, man.
1-2 the count.
Very good location. Rarely do you see a righty throw a slider at the right-handed batter's hip, back him off, and come up and wrap around the inside corner.
So it's 1-2 on Bourjos. Here's the next pitch, and he swings and misses. That slow one there struck him out. So Peter, a couple of strikeouts and a walk today, 0 for 2. 2 outs in the inning. Eric Ibar will be the batter. You were mentioning Tateyama and his friendship with their new star starting pitcher from Japan, Yu Darvish. It's kind of ironic to some degree that a lot of the Japanese media that used to cover Hideki Matsui, now with Matsui not playing, they're still here in the States, and now they're covering Yu Darvish.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting a sense that they're kind of scrambling right now.
Right.
They're all hoping that Matsui signs somewhere.
Right.
Because that's where they're going.
And apparently Matsui has been more cordial, I guess, to the Japanese media here in the States than say Darvish has been to the Japanese media in the States.
That's what we hear.
Yeah.
Well, we saw it here firsthand as to the way Matsui accommodated all his colleagues from his homeland.
Sure.
Day after day. Always gracious. Because he had a chance to play back in Japan. He did not want to go back and play in Japan.
Right. Apparently he's still living in New York right now, hoping to hook on with someone in the States. The pitch that's inside on Ibar. 2-1 to count.
Tateyama made his debut at age 35 for the Rangers. And at that time, he became the oldest Ranger to make his debut.
And he got off to a rough start with them last April. Get to it after the 2-1. Here it comes on Ibar, and that one is inside. It's now 3-1. He allowed grand slams in back-to-back appearances last April. So we were talking earlier about the mental part of the game. That can fry you a little bit mentally when something like that happens.
Welcome to the U.S.
Right. 3 balls, 1 strike. Angels up 2-0, batting here in the bottom of the 7th. The pitch lined into center field, coming in and diving and making the grab on that one is Bourjos, and that will end the inning. That was a nice play by the center fielder. The Angels are retired here in the bottom of the 7th. No runs. The leadoff hit in the inning by Trumple. There was a sac bunt in the inning as well, and a runner left at second base. We're headed to the 8th. The Angels holding on to a 2-0 lead on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Wholesale changes for the Angels as we head to the 8th. The Halos up 2-0 here on Texas. New first baseman Cole Calhoun. Darwin Perez stays in the game, takes over at second. Jorge Cantu, the new third baseman. Alexi Amarista is the new shortstop in the outfield. Ryan Langerhans is in left field. Bourjos remains out in center. And the new right fielder is Randall Grichuk. Kevin Jepson is the new pitcher, and we're ready for the 8th as Bourbon will lead things off here for Texas. First pitch. That's a strike on the outside corner. 0-1 the count.
Kevin Jepson coming at you with a little zip on that one.
He has had good velocity this spring for the Angels. Rodriguez worked last inning. We'll give you Francisco's numbers after the pitch, and it's a broken bat grounder hit right to first. Calhoun playing there. He'll solo to the bag, and Bourbon an easy out. One gone here in the 8th.
Okay, Calhoun getting a chance now to show his versatility. He's made some very nice plays in the outfield. Gets good jumps. He told me he enjoys the challenge of playing first base too.
Mike Scioscia has mentioned that as far as he's concerned, the Angel manager, Calhoun, is above average defensively over there at first base. Here's Connor Jackson set to bat. Since coming into the game, he's gone 0 for 2, and the first pitch that's in there for a strike. Francisco Rodriguez, who pitched in the 7th inning, he allowed a hit, no runs, walked the batter, didn't strike out any.
It's good for Francisco, something he can build off of.
Here's Jepson's next pitch, and that's a pitch cut on and missed. Had some good velocity on it.
It's still impressive to me now that he's had that knee cleaned out. How much more consistent he is with a push-off leg. And not trying to compensate at times with his push or even his landing on the other leg.
Here's the 0-2. Misses high with that one. Jepson is working in his 7th game this spring. No wins, no losses, no saves. 3.00 ERA, 5 strikeouts in 6 innings of work. Kevin is set, and the 1-2 pitch. That's fouled off over by the Angels dugout on the right side. So we'll do it again, 1-2. Fans, this season the Angels are making your Friday nights even more enjoyable. Live music in the Garden. Our free pregame concerts before Friday night home games beginning on April the 20th. I'll tell you a little bit more about the Garden at the Big A after the pitch, and trying to back away from that one was Jackson. It found his bat and he fouls it off over on the right side. You can enjoy free live music from some of your favorite local bands at Gate 1 on Friday nights at the Big A at the Music Garden. For more information, visit angels.com/band. Here's the 1-2. That's low and away, a breaking ball. 2-2 the count. Had wind starting to blow out now to center field. It had been blowing to left center. Now it's blowing straight out and really moving those flags. The 2-2 pitch, low and away, ball 3. Full count on Connor Jackson with David Murphy waiting on deck. Jepson is set. We'll see what gives on the 3-2. Here it comes. He walks him. It's nowhere close, way high and outside. So 1-out walk. That's the 4th surrendered by Angels pitchers, who right now are working on a combined 4-hit shutout.
Jepson right now just swinging across his body a little bit too much. Just remember that straight line towards Bobby Wilson, that target. That's what keeps him on key. It makes his fastball more effective, more life at the end, and his breaking ball with more bite also at the end.
Here's Murphy batting. He swings at the first pitch and lifts it in the air into left field. Langerhans is circling under. He's there to put it away, and that's out number 2.
Now the Angels better move by putting Alexi Amarista at shortstop. Now this is no mistake or coincidence. The Angels are taking a very long look at Amarista at shortstop for a reason. Now we see them play second, see them play the outfield. and making himself even more valuable by being in the number 6 spot.
Yeah, he's looking like a super utility guy right now.
Remember Sean Figgins.
Here's Dusty Brown. He's batting for the first time. They're a new catcher. And the pitch. Brown takes that one for a called strike. Angels 2 runs, 4 hits. Rangers no runs, 4 hits. These two teams played a low scoring game yesterday with the Angels beating Texas 3-2 in surprise. 0-1 pitch. That one is lifted high in the air and it's hit deep into left field. Langerhans is going back and that one is gone. Well, might have had some help from the wind on that one, but he gave it a good ride. A towering home run for Dusty Brown, and that ties the game up at 2.
Well, up to this point, it had been a beautifully pitched ball game by the Angels, and then the 1-out walk, and as I had mentioned, it just didn't look like the fastball was doing much at the tail end because he's throwing more across his body right now.
So the Rangers have come back to tie it here in the 8th. We saw them hit the ball out of the ballpark yesterday when the Angels faced them in surprise. They have a 2-run homer here in the 8th inning to tie it up. And the batter now is Moreland. The pitch. That one is in there for a called strike.
And for Jepson, the toughest times he's had in the big leagues have been kind of a combination of exactly that, Terry. A walk here or there, a wild pitch, and a big hit.
0-1 to count on Moreland. Next delivery, swing and a miss. Brown, who hit the home run here in this inning, he's had 4 hits this spring and 2 of them have been home runs. He's only 4 for 9 for the Rangers with a pair of homers. Jepson is ready. The 0-2 delivery, and it's a breaking ball bounced down to third right at Cantu. His throw across the diamond. It's scooped out nicely by Calhoun. It was a low throw. The inning is over, but the Rangers come up with a pair to tie it. 2 runs on 1 hit. A walk in the inning, no errors, and nobody left. Bottom of the 8th coming up. We're tied at 2 on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Number of changes for the Rangers as we get set to go to the bottom of the 8th inning. We'll pick those up in just a moment. They have a new pitcher. Left-hander Michael Kirkman now takes over. And the batter for the Angels as we start off the bottom of the 8th inning is Randall Grichuk. And the first pitch, that one is a ball to count. 1 ball, no strikes. Grichuk is hitting out of Howie Kendrick's number 2 spot. This is his first at bat today. And the pitch, he fouls that one back behind the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike on the former first-round pick of the Angels. Jorge Cantu waits on deck. He'll be hitting out of Pujols, number 3 spot. Rangers have added some new faces around the infield. We'll pick those up as Grichuk lines that one into left field, and the ball gets away from the left fielder. It's off his glove and it rolls out to the warning track. Grichuk makes the turn. He's headed for third base, and he will slide in safely. So the Angels have the potential go-ahead run at third on a ball that was not handled by the new left fielder out there, and that is Val Majeski. Yeah, that ball should have been caught. That's going to be a 3-base error by the new left fielder.
Oh, the ball finds you right away when you come into that game. That ball had a little bit of an effect, hooking from the right-handed batter, and a ball that was really hit pretty hard.
So Cantu steps up with a chance to give the Angels the lead, and he takes the pitch low as they bring the infield in. It's 1 ball, no strikes.
Well, Cantu has been a very reputable RBI guy. Mike Scioscia mentioned that after our game yesterday. Here's his next opportunity. Kirkman, very good fastball.
He's ready. Here's the pitch on Cantu, and he swings and drives the ball deep into left field. You can kiss it goodbye. Out of here. Jorge Cantu against one of his former clubs goes deep. Home run for him, and just like that, the Angels are back on top. It's now 4-2 as Cantu hits his first home run of the spring.
That is now 7 RBIs for the veteran Mexican third baseman, first baseman. A no-doubter. That's when you let the pitcher provide the power. He's had a solid spring, and he can make it difficult at the end for the Angels in personnel moves, which is what he's supposed to do as a non-roster invite.
And the batter now is Matt Scioscia stepping up to the plate.
Oh, I got to see Mike's face.
The first pitch, that's low and inside, ball 1. It's 1 ball, no strikes. So Mike Scioscia's son, Matt, who the Angels drafted last June, batting for the first time in an Angel uniform. Here's the 1-0, and he got a piece of that one. He fouled it back behind the plate. 1-1.
Boy, Matt, not intimidated at all.
We've known Matt Scioscia since he was back in middle school, Jose.
I saw Matt Scioscia be brought to Dodger Stadium by his mom when he was a baby.
There you go. Here's the pitch, and that one is low and inside. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Matt Scioscia wearing number 81, right-handed batter.
I made it a habit to sit with his grandparents a lot and watch a lot of those games where Mike Scioscia was catching.
Here's the pitch, and he swings and lifts one in the air into right center field. Chasing after it is the center fielder, and the catch will be made out there in center by Jared Bolden, the new center fielder. That's a pretty retired. That's some pretty good wood on that one.
Yeah, what a great moment. No matter what, man, you're pressing for your kid. You want him to do well. Glad he got a chance to get the one out of the way.
Yep. Amarista will be the batter now with 1 out in the inning. And here's the pitch. That one is low and outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Bobby Abreu is waiting on deck. He's been the DH the entire game for the Angels. Here's the next pitch on Amarista, and he chops one foul over on the left side. Picking up the changes for Texas, they have Brad Nelson now playing first base. And they have a new second baseman in the ball game as well. That is Greg Miclat. Last name spelled M-I-C-L-A-T. Edwin Garcia is the new third baseman as that pitch misses, and it counts 2 balls and a strike. Mentioned the new left fielder Majewski, who dropped the ball hit by Grichuk to start the inning off for a 3-base error, and the new center fielder is Jared Bolden. Here's the pitch to Amarista. He lines one to right, and they're waiting. Making the grab is Connor Jackson, who's still in the ball game, and that's the second out. Ball was hit hard, but out number 2.
Now it's been a habit for Amarista this spring. Does it once again and once again against a left-handed pitcher.
So here is Abreu, who's gone 0 for 3. Ready to work is the lefty, and Kirkman's pitch. That's in there for a strike. Normally this time of a spring training game, you wouldn't see Bobby Abreu stepping up to the plate.
He needs at-bats.
Yeah.
He's been asking for the at-bats. He's getting them.
Abreu is 4 for 36 this spring, and he lifts that one down the left field side. A ball hit tight to the line, and catching it in left field in fair territory is Majewski, and that will end the inning. So the Angels strike for a couple to regain the lead here in the inning on the 2-run homer by Cantu. 2 runs, 1 hit. Angels have had a couple of deep flies today. In the inning, 1 error and nobody left. We're headed to the 9th. The Angels on top 4-2 on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Angels have a couple of changes here as we get set to move to the 9th inning. Jason Isringhausen will take over in relief. He'll be the 6th pitcher of the day. Jepsen worked last inning. He allowed 1 hit, 2 runs. Both earned walk to batter and gave up the home run. And now Isringhausen will have a chance to save it for the Angels, as the first batter he will face will be Edwin Garcia, batting for the first time today. He's hitting out a Snyder's spot, their starting third baseman. The Angels also have Doug Deeds now playing in left field. When Matt Sosha batted in the top of the inning, he was batting for Langerhans, so the Angels had to change their left fielder, and Deeds has taken over in left. First pitch was a ball, the 1-0 delivery. That's in there for a called strike. 1-1 to count on Edwin Garcia. He's up from minor league camp for Texas, getting his first at bat of the day. Brad Hopp is waiting on deck. He's been their DH all game long, and the pitch is fouled back behind the plate. So the count jumps to 1 ball, 2 strikes on Garcia. Jose is headed downstairs. He'll be visiting with Angels manager Mike Scioscia after the ball game. We'll have that for you on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. We'll have more post-game coverage on the radio side, and also Jose will be joined by Michael Eaves on Fox Sports West for more post-game analysis as well. It's a pitch that misses ball 2. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Angels trying to win their 5th in a row here in the Cactus League. The pitch that's lifted in the air into left center field. Deeds is chasing, and he makes a nice running catch, the new Angel left fielder. 1 away here in the top of the 9th. So Hop will be the next batter. Isringhausen as he works for the Halos. This appearance is his 4th this spring. 3 innings of work coming in, allowing 3 hits and a run. 3.00 ERA. And the pitch, the first one taking is Hop, and the first pitch a ball. Isringhausen has a chance to get his 2nd save for the Angels this spring if he can get the last 2 outs here. He's ready, and the next pitch. That slow one is in there for a called strike. 2-0 the count. Here's the next pitch. That's outside. 3-0. This matchup between Hop and Isringhausen, a couple of players who played in the National League last year. Isringhausen with the Mets, Hop was with the Padres. Now they're both in the AL. And the 3-0 delivery. He had the green light. He fouls it off on the left side, backing out of play. Both teams with home runs in the 8th inning. Each team with a 2-run shot. The pitch chopped on the right side, a foul ball. Calhoun went ahead and played it, but it was foul. 2-2 on Brad Hop. Tomorrow the Angels in action here in Tempe, taking on the Rockies. Tuesday the Angels will play the Giants in Scottsdale. That's going to be Jared Weaver against Tim Lincecum. Dan Herron pitches against the Reds. Bronson Arroyo Wednesday. That game will be in Goodyear. And then the Angels are back here in Tempe on Thursday and Friday. Games against the Royals and Diamondbacks. The 2-2 on Hop. Low and in. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Isringhausen is set. He delivers the payoff pitch. It's fouled off on the left side. Bobby Wilson, who's the Angel catcher, he's been behind the plate the entire ball game. Isringhausen getting a new baseball as he gets positioned out there on the pitching rubber. He's ready, and the 3-2, it's a little bit low and outside. It's ball 4. So a 1-out walk, and that'll bring the tying run to the plate. Alberto Gonzalez will be the batter. And he has been their shortstop the entire ball game. And now looks like we're going to have a pinch runner. And it's Gilder Rodriguez coming in to pinch run. So he takes over for a hop over at first base. The base runner there, and the pitch, and that one comes in and it catches Gonzalez. He's hit by the pitch. So now they have 2 runners on base with 1 out here in the 9th. And Isringhausen issuing a walk and then hitting a batter. And he's worked himself into some trouble here with 1 out. Bobby Wilson goes out to have a word with them. Fans at Jiffy Lube, they do so much more than just oil changes. And with over 120 Jiffy Lube locations throughout Southern California, you can always find one near you. Visit JiffyLubeSoCal.com for the location nearest you. That's JiffyLubeSoCal.com. Greg McLott is the batter, and here's the pitch. That one is a little bit outside. 1 ball, no strikes. He came into play second base for Texas. This is his first time up, swinging from the left side. And the next delivery, that one missing again. It's 2 balls and no strikes. So Isringhausen is struggling out there with his command. He had walked 1 in 3 innings coming into this ball game. The 2-0 pitch outside again. It's now 3-0. So the Rangers trying to make it interesting here in the 9th inning against the veteran right-hander Jason Isringhausen. 3-0 the count. 1 out, 2 on. The 3-0 pitch. Batter takes it all the way, and it's right in there for a called strike. 3-1. Sellout crowd today, over 9,600, and many of them are still here. The 3-1 pitch. Lifted in the air into right field. Chasing after it is Grichuk. That ball is carrying out in right center, and it's going to drop in and bounce off the wall. 1 run will score. A second is being waved home. The throw is late, and it's a 2-run double to tie the game at 4. So the Rangers come right back against the Angels and tie it up. That ball was hit deep out in right center. It landed out by the warning track. Grichuk and Bourjos were chasing. Neither one able to run it down. And the young player, Miklik, with his 7th hit this spring. He had driven in a couple runs. He gets a couple more. And the batter now is Bolden. Jared Bolden at the plate. He takes the pitch, and it's in there for a called strike. He came in to take over for Bourjos in center field. So a 4-4 ball game. Bolden batting from the left side. That pitch is way low and inside, and Isringhausen has struggled here. He's having command issues. Pitches up in the strike zone, and he's paid already in this inning, giving up a couple of runs. Rangers hadn't scored a run until the 8th inning. Runner at second goes. The pitch is strike. No throw to third base. That's an easy stolen base right there. And that's a potential go-ahead runner at third with only 1 out. One and 2 the count. Angels bring the infield in now with that runner at third base. Here's the next pitch. Grounded foul on the right side. Still 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bolden, who's batting for Texas, has been to the plate a couple of times this spring. 0 for 2. He has not had a hit. A hit here would mean a run. The 1-2 pitch fouled back to the screen, and the count stays at 1 and 2. That foul ball that hit the top part of the screen almost nailed a bird that was perched on the top of the screen. Bird is okay, we're glad to report. Just a little shaken up. One ball, 2 strikes. Here's the next delivery, and that one is low and in. 2 and 2 the count. Connor Jackson waiting on deck. It's been a difficult inning here for Isringhausen. He's facing his 5th batter. He's retired only 1, and 2 have scored. The 2-2 pitch. Popped foul on the left side, backing out of play. And in this inning, Isringhausen has faced several of the replacement players in this game. The players up from minor league camp. Garcia he's faced, Micklet, who had the big 2-run double. Bolden, who's batting now, up from minor league camp. Here's the next pitch, and that one's cut on and missed. He got him, struck him out. It's a big strikeout there with the runner at third, and now Mike Soshu is coming out of the Angel dugout area to make a pitching change. So Isringhausen threw a lot of pitches, and he will not throw any more here today, as the Angels will make a move to the pen. We have a break in the action, a pitching change here in the ninth. We're tied at 4, 2 outs, a runner at third. And we'll be back with more Angels baseball in a moment on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. New pitcher in the game for the Angels is the Submariner Jeremy Berg. We've seen him a few times this spring. This will be his 4th outing. He's worked 2 1/3 innings of scoreless relief, giving up 1 hit, no walks, striking out 2, a 0 ERA. And he faces Connor Jackson here with a runner at third base, 2 outs, 4-4 ball game here in the top of the 9th inning. Texas getting a pair here in the 9th to tie it. Berg's first pitch, and Jackson takes that one's a little bit low. Teams have been scoring in 2s here in the late innings. Rangers 2 in the 8th, Angels 2 in the 8th. Rangers have scored 2 in the 9th. 1-0 pitch. That's a strike on the outside corner. 1-1 to count. Berg's next pitch. It's lined into left field. That's going to drop in and put the go-ahead run on the scoreboard. Coming in is Micklet, and Jackson's RBI hit gives the Rangers their first lead of the day. It's 5-4. So that run will go against Isringhausen. All 3 of the runs here in the 9th inning go against him. And now the next batter for Texas will be Majewski. Left-handed batter. First time up, he swings and fouls that one off on the left side. 5-4 Texas. They've put 5 on the board over the last 2 innings. Angels will have one more shot in the bottom of the 9th. Berg is set, delivers. The pitch is low and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. The book is closed on Isringhausen, 2/3 of an inning. He allowed only 1 hit but 3 runs. He walked a batter, hit a batter. Those two scored. He also struck out a batter. 2-1 the count now as the pitch missed low and away from Berg. Jeremy Berg, pitcher number 7 today for the Angels, who trail by a run here in the 9th. Berg bluffing the runner back to the bag, Connor Jackson. Jackson, who just gave them the lead with that hit. He had a rough go here in the Cactus League. Just his 3rd hit this spring. Here's a bouncing ball by the mound, and it's going to skip through into center field. That's going to be a hit. The runner breaks for 3rd. Throw by Bourjos is wide, so they have him at the corners. So Berg has given up a pair of hits since coming into the 2 batters that he's faced. And now the 8th batter of the inning will be stepping up, and it'll be Dusty Brown, who hit a 2-run homer for them last inning. Brown is 1 for 1 with that 2-run homer. Long inning for the Angels here in this 9th. 3 are in. They're threatening to get more with 2 outs. Berg delivers, and the pitch that's in there for a called strike. Nothing in 1 to count. Right-hander against right-hander. The pitch that's cut on and missed, and now Berg has jumped in front. 0-2 on Dusty Brown. Well, the Angels bat in the bottom of the 9th. The batters scheduled: Perez, Wilson, and Bourjos. Next pitch, that's low. It'll be the bottom 3rd of the Angel batting order when the Angels step up in the bottom of the 9th. We'll see what the Rangers end up doing pitching wise, if they stick with Kirkman or bring in another reliever. Here's Berg bluffing a pickoff toss. Fake the throw to 3rd, hoping to draw the runner off 1st. No one was biting there.
All right.
Everyone is ready. Berg delivers the 1-2, drilled into center field. Bourjos is going back, still back, and he makes a terrific running catch. His momentum takes him out onto the warning track, and he had to brace himself against the wall after he caught it. Heck of a grab there by Bourjos, and that saved more runs. The inning ends on another sparkling play by Peter in center field. 3 runs in the inning. They did it with 3 hits. A hit batsman, a walk, and they end up leaving a pair. Bourjos getting a nice round of applause as he comes back to the Angel dugout. We are headed now to the bottom of the 9th. It's 5-4 Texas on the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West. Darwin Perez leads it off for the Angels. Bottom of the ninth we go. He was around a bunt. He takes the pitch, and it's in there for a called strike. Michael Kirkman, who gave up the 2-run homer to Cantu in the 8th inning. He's working the 9th for Texas. And here's the left-hander's pitch. Grounded on the third base side and by the third baseman Garcia. It rolls into left field for a leadoff hit. So the Angels have the tying runner on at first base, no one out. Bobby Wilson will be the batter. Perez, who just got that hit for the Angels, that's his second this spring. He's now 2 for 6. Here's Bobby Wilson. He's gone 0 for 2 with a sac bunt today. Been a long day for Wilson. He's been the Angel catcher this entire ball game. The game closing in on the 3-hour mark. Here's the pitch, and Bobby takes that one for a called strike. Kirkman, who's pitching for Texas. He has been with the Rangers in the past. He pitched in 15 games for them last year at a high ERA last season of over 6.5. The pitch, that's outside and low. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. And as far as Kirkman this spring for the Rangers, his ERA is up there as well. 7.00 coming into the game. This is his 7th relief appearance. He's ready and delivers. Pitch fouled back behind the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. Kirkman will throw a fastball. He'll top out around 95. He has a good slider. He'll throw a curve and changeup as well. He was very good for Texas a couple seasons ago in the 2010 season. His ERA in 14 games with the Rangers was 1.65, but struggled last year with Texas. Lob toss over to first, and Perez back. Let's pause for station identification here on the Angels Baseball Network. One ball, 2 strikes on Wilson. Next delivery, it's fouled back to the screen. We'll do it again, 1-2. Been a late comeback in this game for Texas to seize a 5-4 lead here in the bottom of the 9th. Angels had the winning run at the plate. That breeze still blowing out to left center, and the flags are really swaying out there. Stiff breeze. Again, a toss over to first, and Perez back safely. Peter Bourjos waiting on deck. After Bourjos, the batter would be Cole Calhoun. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Wilson. Here's the next pitch. He lifts a high fly ball into left field. Majewski, who's already dropped one, circles under this one and makes the catch right near the rim of the track. The wind carried that ball a little bit, but it's out number 1 here in the bottom of the 9th. So 1 away. Peter Bourjos, the batter. He's had kind of a quiet day. A couple of strikeouts and a walk. He's done his talking today with the glove. He's made some nice plays out in center, including the catch he made to him the top of the inning on the liner to center off the bat of Dusty Brown. Brown, who's the catcher, might be saying to Bourjos right now, man, did you ever rob me on that play to end the top of the inning. Again, a toss to first. Perez back. Peter Bourjos this spring, 11 hits, 1 RBI. He's had 41 at bats in the Cactus League. Here's the pitch. He swings and misses that one. 0-1 to count. This game here, the Angels and Rangers, the final time they'll square off in the Cactus League. And they won't face each other in the regular season until May the 11th. And the Angels will have a series, the first series against Texas in Arlington. Here's the pitch. Lined into left center field. That one's going to drop in for a base hit. Perez is headed on to third. He represents the tying run. He'll get there without a throw. Bourjos has a hit. The Angels are in business now with runners at the corners. Only one out. Tying run at third. Potential winning run, and a guy who can really run at first in Bourjos. And Calhoun will be the batter. This will be his first time up. Cole Calhoun has been one of the real pleasant surprises for the Angels here in the Cactus League, hitting .333. He's had a lot of at-bats this spring, 39 of them with 13 hits. He's driven in 3 runs. A hit would tie up the game, and it would certainly put Bourjos, the runner at first, the potential winning run, in scoring position. Here's the pitch on Calhoun. He takes a pitch in there for a called strike. Randall Grichuk is the batter waiting on deck. Infield, a double play depth. It's a lefty-lefty matchup. Calhoun's faced a lot of left-handers this spring. Here's the one-strike pitch, and it's a pop that's going to drop into shallow right and tie up the game. Now Bourjos is going to make a turn, but head back to second base. But Calhoun comes through to tie the game up here in the 9th inning. It's now 5-5 with the potential winning run at second base, only one out. Well, Cole Calhoun came through just like he has all spring. And we'll see if Grichuk can be a hero here. A hit could win this ball game. Angels have put 3 on the board against Kirkman since he came in last inning. He gave up the home run last inning. Meeting going on at the mound. Mike Maddox, their pitching coach, heading back to where the Ranger coaches are seated, just outside their dugout. So here's Grichuk stepping up. Randall Grichuk. He's been up once today. Hit that fly ball to left field leading off last inning for the Angels. It was dropped by the left fielder. Grichuk is officially 1 for 5 this spring with the Angels. Bourjos could be on the move over there at second with a lefty on the hill. Peter's going to get a good sized lead off of second base. We'll see if he might be on the move. Grichuk is a right-handed batter. Now Kirkman wheels around, bluffs a toss to second. No one was even near the bag, but he did get Peter Bourjos to head back to second base. Randall Grichuk, the Angels' first-round pick, 24th overall in the June 2009 draft. 5-5, bottom of the 9th. The pitch, he swings and fouls that one off over by the Angels' dugout. 0-1 to count. Randall Grichuk played last year in the Arizona Summer League. He was with Inland Empire and also Cedar Rapids. Here's the pitch, and he thought about chasing that one, kind of held up a check swing, and it's in there. It's 0-2. Cantu, who homered against Kirkman last inning, is waiting on deck with one out. 5-5 here in the bottom of the 9th. Here's the pitch, and it's fouled back behind the plate. So we'll do it again. 0-2 on Randall Grichuk. And the Angels drafted Grichuk in the first round in 2009. The Angels had the very next pick in that entire draft, and they selected Mike Trout right behind Grichuk. Grichuk was 24th overall, Trout 25th overall in that draft. The pitch, that's low and inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mike Trout has obviously been on a faster path in the Angel organization, getting to the big leagues last year as a teenager. Grichuk is a little older than him. He's been hobbled by numerous injuries since signing with the Angels. The 1-2 pitch. He smacks that one on the left side. That's through for a base hit. Bourjos is going to be way tall. Here comes the throw to the plate. He is safe, and the ball game is over. Randall Grichuk is the hero as Bourjos scores from second, and the Angels win the game here in the bottom of the ninth inning, 6-5. That's a feel-good win today for the Halos, who ended up seeing the Rangers score 3 in the top of the ninth to seize the lead. The Angels come back with a pair in the bottom of the ninth and win it today by the final score of 6-5. Good ball game for the Angels to keep that winning streak going. The Angels have now won 5 in a row here in the Cactus League and have also won 8 out of 11 here at Tempe Diablo Stadium. Jose will be joined by Angels manager Mike Socia in just a moment. Good day for the Halos, and it certainly ends on an up note today here in Tempe as the Angels come away with the victory. The Angels now this spring 14-8-1. Let's go down to Jose with Angels manager Mike Socia.
Thanks a lot, Terry. Mike, big win, but the bigger story is your son Matt Socia gets into a game, and what feeling did that bring to you as a dad?
Oh, it's great. He loves the game, and he'll be playing low A ball, but he enjoys it. So it was a thrill to get him an at bat, and I know he's got a charge out of it.
Were you happy with his swings?
Took a great swing, 1-0, and then he kind of drifted and jammed himself a little bit. He's still learning, and he, like I said, he works hard.
They're great, but Mike, you have to balance winning, losing, evaluating players, and also knowing that some guys are working on certain things. How do you keep that balance in spring training, knowing that you need momentum going into the season?
Well, I think the first course of action in any game is make sure that you're trying to accomplish what you want to on that game, whether it's a pitcher getting his innings, a hitter on his at-bats. Some days you're going to go out there and got to sacrifice bunts down. There's all kinds of things that we're trying to work into a game, getting ready for a season, and you want to accomplish that whether you win or lose. Now, naturally, it always feels good to win. Jose, you always try to win. But there are some games when you'll win 10-9 and not feel real good about it because in a defensive end some things fell through, and sometimes you'll lose 3-2 and feel really good about some things that you did that you accomplished on the field.
Things accomplished on the field today. On the mound, Trevor Bell. You saw Kevin Jessen. You saw Jason Isringhausen. Your take, if you can tell us quickly on those three guys.
Well, Trevor had much better command today and really pitched well into the fifth and showed a good breaking ball too, which he's been working on. And I think if you look at what he did, Scott Downs came in, it was a little bit erratic, a little behind some counts, but got it done. Kevin Jepsen throwing the ball very, very hard. He just missed on one little cutter, left it in the middle of the plate, and the wind helped it a little bit to get it out of here. But he's pitching well. Jason Isringhausen just didn't have his feel on the mound. He was missing up a lot, was having trouble putting guys away, and he threw a lot of pitches in that one inning.
Proud daddy. Thank you, Mike.
All right, thank you, Jose.
Terry, all yours.
All right, thanks, Jose. The Angels come away with the victory today here in Tempe. They make it 2 straight against the Rangers in the back-to-back games here in the Cactus League. 6-5, Halos win it with the 2 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning. For those of you watching on the TV side, Jose and Mike Weaves will have a lot more post-game analysis, and on radio we'll have more from Tempe as well. This is the Angels Baseball Network and Fox Sports West.